Hello, everyone. I hope the microphones are working. My name is Matthias, the communications lead here at Mimimi Games. Welcome to our developer live stream. We're gonna play the game for you for the first time live from the alpha version. So please bear in mind that it's the alpha version, work in progress. There might be bugs, there might be crashes. It's gonna be we're gonna see what's gonna happen, and we're gonna react to it live. So that's gonna be fun. And with me is our head of design, Moritz Wagner.
Hello.
Give it up, please.
Hey
Moritz, so
everyone.
who are you and what are you doing at Mimimi?
Yeah, I'm Mo. I'm the head of design, so I do game design things and feature stuff and sitting in streams and talking to people, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool job, though. So and then I have Lukas with me, Lukas Reiner, our concept artist.
Yeah, the
Well,
concept
artist,
guy. Yeah.
What do you do as concept artist at Mimimi?
Lots of drawing, lots of fewer meetings than these two guys.
which is probably pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
can just work on your stuff without getting interrupted by.
Yeah,
random
I'm in
meetings
the
all
thick
the
of the production. Unlike these two guys who are just sitting around.
Yeah, we're just
We're
chilling
not
most
doing
of the
anything
time.
basically. We're just
Yeah.
streaming on,
Mm.
having fun while Lukas is actually working.
Yeah, we-
Okay, yeah, and so today on our agenda, like I said, we want to play 2 missions of the alpha version from the I think now it's called the Dread Groves Island. No,
Red Wines Grove.
Red
Dog-
Wines Grove. Yeah. The island you probably know from our first gameplay trailer. We're gonna play 2 missions on it. And show you a little bit of the game, and maybe I'll just jump right into the gameplay. Or do you have anything else to say before we start? Any last?
And if you guys
words?
have and girls have any questions, you can just post them in the chat, and
Yes.
we'll try to answer most of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we try. I'm following the chat on YouTube and on Twitch. I hope I will catch all your questions. Sometimes a bit hard when a lot of questions come in at the same time, but I'll give my best. And let's jump into the gameplay.
We have the release date questions 3 times already.
Of course.
Not yet.
So I'll just repeat again for everyone who's watching now. We're playing the alpha version of the game, so it's not the finished final game. This is not the final product, so to speak, what you see. So be aware that we're gonna have probably bugs. We're gonna have maybe a crash or whatever. You're gonna see weird things happening on screen. That doesn't mean that there's like there's a lack of polish, but like we're actually still in development with the game. So naturally with the alpha version there's a lot of things not yet finished, and the whole polish comes basically at the end of the
Yeah.
production.
There was a
so
perfect example right there. There was the turtle that was swimming around on deck with animations
Yeah.
that don't fit. This type of stuff is everywhere still. So, though I
Yes.
would say that it is sort of alpha, but this is already progressed. Like a lot of work already went into this. This is it's close to how it's gonna look, but there's stuff that's off.
And Lukas, he's playing, I think actually the first time we're showing some gameplay footage with controller UI.
Oh, really?
HUD. Yes.
Okay.
We haven't shown it yet before, and
Yeah.
I think we also did some changes ever since Desperados.
There is one big
Yeah,
change,
there's a big one.
and that is in Desperados you basically had to control the camera on gamepad manually. There was an option to go into a follow cam mode in the options, but it was the secondary mode. And this time around you can see that the camera smoothly follows Lucas around, and he can turn it around as he wants to, doing with the right stick, and then he can press a button to have it move freely and basically lock it in place. Just you see the lock in the center, now the camera is locked, and then you can finish the lock, remove the lock, and that just makes it feel a lot more intuitive and good, I think.
Yeah.
So that's a big change for the gamepad and consoles.
Yeah.
So Lucas is just randomly walking around while we're talking here. So maybe we just jump into one of the first or the first mission of the 2 we want to play today. It's so here you see like the world map. That's basically, we're already a little bit further into the game here, I think you saw that map already in the first gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
So there's more islands to discover, and we're gonna show you the upper left one, which you can't see right now because our camera feed is over, like the overlay is over the island. But
There it is.
yeah, so we're gonna play from the Red Wines Cove Island, which is the big island you all saw in the trailer. Yeah, Bark and Bramble.
Yeah.
Bramble.
Stubark
Sorry.
and Bramble.
Yeah, and maybe I don't know. I think we're gonna see a mission intro briefing right now, but maybe Mo, you can tell us a little bit what the mission is
the
about.
briefing is probably off. And
Should I skip?
No, you can leave it running so we can see stuff on the map, but what they're saying is not matching what's happening on screen in many cases because the writing changed rather recently. So in general, we're in Act 2 of the game at this point, and a lot of it is about reviving the rest of the crewmates and following a riddle, basically, and finding a treasure. And what we do is we sail to different islands, for example right here, and we need to gather 2 types of resources in order to revive characters. One of them is a black pearl, which is sort of a very powerful artifact that you already saw in the gameplay, in the CGI trailer. And the other one is, well, it's sort of an artifact that is infused with soul energy. I'm not going to spoil too much regarding the artifacts per se, but in this mission we are trying to get one of these artifacts, and once we would have both of these things, we could revive a new character on the hub.
You have it then.
You can see now on the overview map that we have the mission objective is locked up there, so you know what you have to do. And the next thing we are tasked with is choosing the crew we want to have on the
Do
mission.
you see the crates that litter the harbor? Your relic is in 3 of them.
Yeah, these missions, they take place in different parts of the island. You can see that this one takes place near the beach part at the north of the island, where the second mission we're going to play takes place in the southeast part of the island.
Well,
Should I just like start asking questions
There
in
is a
between?
major
or-
Yeah,
upgrade
sure.
to
Yeah.
the beach.
So
Listen in on
let
his
me just scroll up
conversation.
here. Okay,
and we
release
may have
dates.
to
I'll
choose
skip. It's
Now,
2023.
choose our
Navigator.
navigator.
Jeez, people. Great show. Blah, blah, blah. So
Let me quickly, let's just talk about,
Yeah.
while you search,
yeah,
we're going to
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
sorry.
what Lucas can do right now. So now he can choose the spawn point, which is a new big feature in the game, is that you can spawn from different parts on the island. You can see 2 things marked on the map, or 3 things. You have the objective still, that's the yellow X. Then we have these things that spawns, and we have these exit points that are the red ones. So you know, basically plan your route. And there's, I think, 2 of them that are nice for the spawn, for the objective, because they're close. That's
Yeah.
the caves and the cliff.
So you probably wouldn't go here, but you could.
You could. You
Yeah.
would be very masochistic, but you could do that and play through the whole island.
So I think I might plan this entry, this exit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that smart?
I mean-
I haven't played this mission in months.
They both work well. Maybe
Yeah.
you want to choose the one on the bottom, because the
This
next one we have takes place in the upper part. so
Okay,
you will not see this
perfect,
part.
perfect, yeah.
It's
Alright,
a little, yeah.
So this is the cliff
Yeah.
side.
And you could basically, this is basically the path we're gonna take. We need to get down to the beach, see the objective.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it with the blue circle. That's where the objective takes place.
This camp is
oh my God.
my nemesis. I hate this.
The good thing is
I
you
never
can
have
skip it in this mission.
Oh, okay,
It's
good.
not
Yeah,
required.
I'll go around.
I think. Yeah.
And then maybe the lighthouse to
Maybe you have
exit.
to. I don't remember.
Really?
So I have a question here from the chat. Why pirate inspiration after Ninja and Desperados?
Yeah, because they're cool.
Yeah,
We
pretty much.
wanted to fill up the pop culture or awesome things, I guess. No, pirates, they can be cursed in a way that's cool, I think. When we wanted magical abilities, you wanted things to be a little more flashy than in the old games with the abilities that the characters can have. And so cursed pirates was something that really worked.
Yep.
And we like the vibe that pirates have. Like,
Mind me
they
watching.
fit the tone
I
that we
admit,
have when
I
we
am
do the
interested
writing in
in
the
how you
world
will
and the
solve this
visuals and
test.
all that. It just fits this
we are pirates.
sort of
Dread Vine.
fun,
Not
but
be
also a
personal
little
study
rough
objects.
people that the pirates are. I think we like all of us enjoy
Everyone
it.
on this island is
Yeah.
subject to my study,
Pirates are just fun.
be they living or dead.
Oh yikes.
I would
So-
much prefer it if you lent my crew a hand.
Yeah, another question
I
from
have no
Dani.
hands,
Hi, how are
only
you?
an insatiable interest
I'm
for
good.
the
Doing well.
mysteries of the soul.
Okay,
I
very
will
good.
add your performance
important
to
question.
my library of
Um,
observations.
Then from Lack of Luck on Twitch, was this a project that you always had in mind? And when exactly did you start making this game? did we already have this in mind while making Shadow Tactics
No,
Desperados?
no,
or-
no.
No, not really. Right. We were. I mean, you just go project by project, and then you see what's the next project gonna be. So there are ideas in here that, even though I wouldn't say that many of the we tried some of the skills maybe for Shadow Tactics already. I remember that we actually had. I think it was during Shadow Tactics development or shortly afterwards. We did a character like Blink. We tried around with a character that had a move that could move forward, basically.
Really?
Yeah, it was one of the ninjas. I think.
I don't remember.
For a prototype we did in between, I think, and I think had the idea for Hayato, but this is very early and it never got really far because we didn't figure it out. And so no, it's basically a fresh thing that we after Desperados 3 or during Desperados 3 were like, what do we want to do next? And then we make pitches, and this was one of them.
Yeah.
So once again, for anyone who's joining right now, we're playing the alpha version of the game. So everything what you see is alpha footage. It does not represent the final product. Obviously, there's still a couple of months to go until the finished product, until we polish everything. So expect some bugs, expect some weird things here in the gameplay to happen. Please don't judge us. That doesn't mean that the product is not high quality. It's just like the whole polishing part comes at the end of the production.
And to be honest, this already is rather polished. Like
It's already, it looks
stuff like
already
that
awesome.
jump line
but
right
like,
there. Okay, no, it's gone, but yeah.
But
that's-
obviously there's things that.
yeah, I
can
don't think
happen.
we need to sell it too short, right?
I don't want to.
Stuff might be off, but
it's my job
it's
to
pretty.
if there's gonna be a shitstorm, I have to
okay.
take
Yeah.
care of it.
So we're right now moving towards the objective, basically. We need to get to the beach to eavesdrop on a couple of guards. And maybe I didn't really talk about what we're doing here, aside from doing or how we do it. We try to get the artifact, right? But we don't know where it is. So what we need to do is we need to eavesdrops on two guards that are tasked with shipping that artifact off the island, because the bad guy sort of requested it to be shipped to her in the story. And we need to find out where it is, and we need to steal it, as true pirates do. And so the first thing we do is, try to get in there.
There's another question from the chat, which is I think very interesting or nice to show maybe, from Knife Guff. Could you spend a second or two to show the information on screen for each ability when you start playing?
Yeah, let's do
Because
that.
so far we have been only showing basically the ability, but never the actual description of the ability and what it actually does on paper, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So
Yeah, let's do it. Lucas made us a quick spot where we can experiment a little bit by killing a couple of people.
Well, this guy's only knocked out, so
Yeah, it's time. Oh,
bye bye. Yeah, I'm heartless. All right, so
yeah, let's go with so Aifia. She's basically the main character of the game from the player per character's perspective. She has this ability that's the blink kill. The names, by the way, of the abilities are still game designers write stupid names. Like this is not the writers who have. These are going to be more flavorful in the main game. Just want to say it now because they're very functional most of the time and not very cool sounding. So with the blink kill, you can read on the screen that it says it jump to a new location or jump to an enemy to attack. And Lucas can maybe aim a little bit with it. So the caveat here is that you can only jump on the same level as you. You cannot jump upwards unless you're targeting an enemy. So Lucas could basically teleport around now.
so
and
I could get this guy.
Yeah, you could get that guy from below the wall, basically. But you cannot blink up if there's no guards. So it sort of becomes a little interesting. And you can use the ability as well to... Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so there's
Actually, there's a
no
wall
line
there.
of sight at this
There's a
point
wall.
because he has cover, but you
The
could,
contour is well protected.
this is how you can get
I
out.
advise
So
against
it's
going
not
through it.
an ability that allows you to infiltrate
No
certain
reward
areas very easily
There are
if
no
there are no
rewards
guards
inside
that you
either.
can use as an entry point. But it's a very powerful ability overall.
And you can you can choose to make it lethal or non-lethal.
Yes, that is true for every ability except for the gunshot, I think. This is something that we didn't have in Desperados. There were most of the key abilities of characters were not non-lethal, and now there is a non-lethal version for almost every ability.
Okay, the pistol is pretty much everyone has one.
Yeah, it's like boom, one
Yeah.
shot, and you might in easier difficulties get more than one shot, but we haven't
Mhm.
figured that out yet. Yeah, and this one is it's a time freeze ability that allows Aifia to freeze an enemy in time, which sort of, yeah, you can do it once and we can explain what happens there. It has a couple of cool features. The first one is that it doesn't require line of sight. So as long as the character is in range, even if you can see there's no line between the character, Effie and the enemy, so it doesn't require line of sight. So you can do it through a wall if you want to. And what it then does is it freezes the enemy in time. They just stop whatever they're doing. The view cone stops. They cannot detect you anymore. You can see the timer. And an important part that none of the abilities in our older games had, they also cannot hear. So you can do things like time freeze this guy and shoot someone next to them, and they won't hear it.
Yeah.
Which is
Very useful.
Yeah.
Super cool.
A friendly
Feels so good when two people are standing pretty close to each other. You can just freeze one and do with the other whatever you want.
Yeah. This very powerful side effect of the ability. Yeah, then we could maybe switch to...
I just wanted to say, like, because someone asked us to turn up the volume a little bit. So we did. I hope it's better now. If it's still too, too quiet for your taste, if you need like turn up, then let us know, and we can like mix it a little better for you on the screen.
Oh, and by the way, something that you're not going to see now is they all have melee kills or knockouts as well, where they step close. These are not, like you can see them top right, exactly, but they are not, because the gamepad, they are context, whatever. Just know that they are there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Mr. Mercury, who's the shipwright. He has, the main ability that he has is this dig-in ability that allows him to go into the below, which is sort of a...
Shadow seas. That's what we call it.
Is it still the... is it?
In the trailer we call it the shadow
Yeah,
seas.
though I think that's
Maybe
outdated.
yes,
I think it's the below, which is an area that exists in the game that you don't really get to very much, but it's a theoretical space basically. And now you can see that Lucas can aim around, and he has a new ability unlocked, and that is the anchor thing, which doesn't have a good name yet because it's called digging around. You can. What the first thing he can do is he doesn't have to attack anybody. He can just dig out anywhere. So again, this is something that allows him to go through walls. He could dig himself in front of a wall, and then if the radius allows it, he could dig himself out behind it. Yeah, like this. So it's good for infiltration. Another good side effect, since this is a stealth game, Mr. Mercury is invisible because he's not there while he's in the below. So you could maybe, if there was a guard walking over them, they wouldn't recognize anything being amiss. And then there's the ability to attack while you're coming out of this, from the below, which we can maybe show in a minute, where he will come out, use his anchor to basically anchor smash the enemy and pull them into the below. And the great thing about that is that it removes the body instantly, so you don't have to worry about removing the body afterwards, as you do with most other abilities, because he just swallows the body into the below.
So I'm gonna show it on this guy, even though he's already dead, there's still a body. And I can just remove the body. And
that's the unpolished stuff.
I was already like, for a second I was thinking, oh no, I think it's gonna probably be a bug and it's not working.
Yeah, but I mean, you get the point. Like, this is gonna look
it.
good in the end.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
the fish.
Yeah, and then he has Sir Reginald, the royal carp, which is a companion he met while he was walking below the sea for a very long time, which is something you will find out when you play the game and find more about his story. He met Sir Reginald, who is a very opinionated carp that sometimes also talks with him. And it's basically a distraction that he can have come from the sea, make a noise, and people are gonna turn towards it. So it's one of the basic distractions that we have. But also, again, it doesn't have line of sight or the type of aiming that, for example, the stone would have had, or the coin would have had in Desperados 3. You don't have to aim it in a cone. You can just whatever. You don't have to aim it in that way. You can just have it happen below, through walls, whatever. There's no restriction there except range.
And you can actually summon Sir Reginald from underwater.
Yeah, exactly. You can also do so this is basically his kit.
And the gun, of course.
And the gun. They all have the gun.
Where the wind blows,
and we have
cannonballs
Gal,
fly.
who is a little special. She's sort of a support character, I would say, mostly because her main skill allows her to suck people into her cannon and reposition them. It's the cannon recall. So yeah, let's just do it right now for Ifia, and Or yeah, the cool thing again is this is basically infinite range. You just need line of sight to the character, and then you can see a rope comes out of the cannon and pulls the character in. You can zoom in now, so we can see that he's still smoking, I think. Oh no, the cannon is smoking. Yeah. So Mercury is now inside the cannon, which now allows her to shoot Mercury to any position inside of range. So
I think the range... I think the range circle is broken currently.
yeah, we can't see it right now, but yeah,
there is a range and it's pretty far.
Yeah.
You can actually skip huge chunks of some of the levels. It's really great.
Yeah.
So
And
for example, if this was a shortcut, I could just stand here, shoot the other characters over, finish the level here, and then just pull them back. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So she's very good at that, and it makes some noise, so people will look there, and your character gets knocked out a little bit, so it's not too overpowered, right? And they need to recover, and you can also shoot them onto another guard, which knocks out the guard, and so it basically becomes an attack as well. And maybe we can
Don't get too
now
comfortable.
see how that works in combination with another skill and progress.
It's been a while, so I'm gonna save.
True.
Showdown. This and this. Boom. And of course I get seen. Should I just play it out?
Oh, why not? Why not? So you
As
can
soon as
see
the
Aphia
cooldowns-
is knocked out down there, so she's just getting up. So this is basically one of the downsides of the cannon ability. So you can't abuse it too much. Another thing that's new is can you pause quickly? We have on screen, we have two new elements during alarm. We have the one thing that's the exclamation mark in the world that you can see that tells you this is where you sounded the alarm, if that information is useful, or maybe you sound the alarm again and you can see, oh, they're now gonna go investigate over there. And then we have a timer on top that says 22 seconds that gives you the information of how long is this alarm still gonna take. And after the 22 seconds, they will start calming down slowly. If you sound the alarm again, of course, the timer is gonna go up again.
How am I gonna handle this? Freeze this guy. Does this have a cooldown still? Maybe.
Will I find you between the lines?
Gal, I'll read some questions, some more questions from the chat for you guys. Can you show?
Well.
Okay, can you show other heroes? Unfortunately, not. We're gonna
No.
still show the first
Yeah.
three, but maybe we'll show you more soon. So stay tuned.
It's just one thing about what just happened there, because it's also interesting and it's new. Aphia just died and the mission didn't end, which is a huge new thing that allows you to do what Lucas is doing right now, just keep playing. Now he has two choices. He can of course go in and just start fighting until everybody dies and then the mission will fail. But what he can do now is wait the 2 seconds the alarm is still gonna take until you can see now they're going back to their routines. This is not in an area where spawner would be because it's not a heavily protected area. And now he can just get down there and revive Aphia. Now this doesn't work infinitely. The more often a character dies, the quicker they die completely, basically. But this is pretty cool, so it doesn't force you to load at that point anymore.
Then a question from Rumit from on YouTube. Please answer. You add badges in missions like in Tactics and Desperados?
Yes, there are badges. Once they are active basically all the time if you complete them, but as in the other games, in this case, once you've played through the game, there will be a lot of badges that you can play and do. I think it's 400 or something. So yeah.
Then another question from Krinkino. I love reading names on Twitch and YouTube. It's my favorite hobby. So apologies if I misspelled.
We would not want to lose our
mispronounced.
progress.
Hello, thank you for your amazing games. Will there be a character who can dress up like Kate or Aiko?
Well, sort of, but not really. You will have to see.
You'll see soon. You'll see soon.
Yeah.
Then from Muffin Oink, hello, that's Simon, if you know him. What time did you spend working on Shadow Gambit till today? Probably how long?
Yeah, I would assume. Start.
Let's get you somewhere else.
My
It's already
timeline
a
is
little bit over 2
completely...
years.
It's always hard because at some point you start working on the pitches, which is a lot earlier, and then you do other stuff. And
I mean, we started basically after Desperados already, like with first like
Yeah.
prototyping
What
and
do we
stuff.
have here?
Before that, even with the pitches, and I don't know when Desperados released actually, so
That was in
2
June
years
2020.
ago.
Yeah, June
June 2020.
2020.
Okay, yeah,
Any
then
cannons
we've been working on
loose?
it since then,
Yeah,
at least.
basically. Yeah.
Now the fun
Not like full time, but
Big
like I
problem.
think, but 2 years
Bigger
full time now, I
solution.
guess.
Yeah, we had a period
we
in
also had
between
Ico's
where
Choice
only
in between.
exactly where part of the team worked on Ico's Choice, so a smaller team could start developing things for the early concepts of Shadow Gambit, and then we merged the whole team on
Yeah.
it.
Then from Mati Tauru on YouTube. Can you lose characters since there's more of them this time, or is the mission always failed if a character dies? I mean, you just like
Yeah, we just
basically
had that, so
answered it.
I'm just gonna to finish that up. Basically, you can like the characters can die, and then even if they die completely, the mission doesn't fail. You just can't use them anymore during the mission. Though at some point, I mean, if all of them are completely dead, the mission will fail, or sometimes the mission requires more than one character to complete, because maybe there's a special enemy type or something. In that case, the mission would also fail.
Ready for a challenge,
them are dead.
Pierre.
Yeah, so, yeah, to see what's happening, Lucas is approaching the
Snap my fingers.
the eavesdrop spot down
Grant me a
there.
second.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's the coolness of not having the I was gonna say raycast, which is a stupid game dev term. Having not the vision required to do the skill.
When in doubt, hey Marley.
I'll have to borrow your anchor for weight.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to kill the guy up there, to be fair. He's only looking inside and you need to be outside.
Here we go again.
So,
Never look.
yeah, so we do not like. Oh yeah, we do something that this is maybe we should show it because it shows how cool some of the characters can be. In this mission, we need to eavesdrop these two guys now, right? We need to stay next to them and listen for a while. You maybe know this mechanic from Shadow Tactics, where we had it as well. And there are certain characters like Mr. Mercury, as we showed before, he can dig into the ground when so he's invisible during that. So if we manage to get Mercury into the circle, we can skip a lot of stuff here because we don't need to kill all the guards and hide someone behind a crate or something. We can actually try to get Mercury into position and have him dig in and then eavesdrop,
Don't worry,
which
you're
is
dead
pretty
anyway.
cool. Like sometimes
later,
characters
General.
have certain abilities like that. I mean, you could.
While you're trying to do that, I'm just going to ask another question from the chat.
That's another ace in
From
the
Pharaohgonix on
What's
YouTube.
in it for me?
Considering that the number of crew is 3 more people than in other games, can we say that the game time is also longer? Sorry for bad English, by the way. I'm not sure what you mean with 3 more people than in other games. We have... because we always
There's
had
8
5 and now we
characters.
have 8. Okay,
Yeah.
I understand.
Nice. Okay, Lucas did it. It just
Oh, nice.
He
Use the Lucia
did the
Blanca
eavesdrop.
by now.
Now, this of course doesn't work for all the
They are
objectives. The mission isn't
inexcusably
finished now. That would have been a little
I
too
will
easy.
suggest
So
their
I'm just
captain
gonna answer that in
Yeah,
a
no,
second,
like
and then we
said
can.
this.
Now
At least
we
be cursed by
hear
his
what the guys
docile
were
after
saying,
we cut out
and they're
those
basically
pieces.
talking about the fact that
As the box of
they
the
broke
relic
this
is
artifact into 3 pieces
Yes,
because that's Inquisition
commissarius.
doctrine. They are very weird
Though
with
we
certain
have
things,
only been supplied with 2
and they've
armor
put them
eels,
into certain spots. And
we had to put
there's
third
the
into a normal
armariums,
crate.
which are these sort of yeah, it's
Not
the-
ideal,
the anti
but still
abuse.
within the
one.
boundaries of our
Um,
doctrine.
It's these
Forgive
things
me,
that are sort of
commissarius,
safe,
but wouldn't
basically.
it have
And
been easier
in this
to leave
case,
the
they're
relic in one
built in a
piece?
way that characters cannot
Our scripture
simply
is clear.
use them and
Any
get away
wooden
with it
piece of cursed
while
flora
being
is not
seen.
to
So these
exceed
are
the
tough
size
enough
larger
to
than
crack.
what is
And then there's a
specified in
third
Windows
one that they
67,
basically, through
verse
mismanagement and
28.
bureaucracy, placed
If
in
you
a
have trouble
weird crate
remembering
that's
scripture,
floating in the water.
you
They've
will
basically
never
lost
make
it,
to my
and
rank.
that's that crate. And so we now need to get to 3 positions,
special
get the 3
request by the
pieces,
Inquisitor
and
Ed.
then we can complete the mission.
I think we have found our
Yeah.
marks.
So,
Yeah,
We
and
still have
the
work to
question
do.
was if the game time is also longer.
I would say yes. I mean, we planned for it to be the same, but we are A, always off with our playtime estimates, and they're usually longer for most people. And B, we have all the hub stuff in between these missions now that just takes up a lot of time that we didn't really factor in when we said it's going to be about 20-25 hours. So I would say that it probably for most people would be 25 to 30 hours now. But like this is something I cannot promise.
it?
Always, right?
Then another question from Lack of Luck on Twitch. Have you used AI at any point for the development of the game in any part, department, art, coding, writing? Do you know? I don't think so.
This memory is
Hmm.
ours.
And did it help? No, not really. Okay. So there you have it. let's see what maybe the next project, how much more advanced it will be. Yeah.
The problem also always is how you're allowed to use that stuff commercially.
Yeah.
Then always becomes an issue. So
That should do the trick.
What do we have?
yeah, so we've got the first one.
Can you see this, Marley?
Yeah.
In the
A
meantime,
piece of
from New
wood,
Games World on
clearly
YouTube,
part of a
can you
larger
please tell us how many missions
There's
in Shadow
something
Gambit?
inside.
I don't think we ever
I'd wager
disclosed
we'll
the
learn
number
more
of
once the
missions.
rest is in our hands.
There's a lot of
A
them
lot of
because
missions.
they're shorter.
I see you've recovered the first
I think
relic
about
piece.
between 20 and
How
30.
fares your assessment
I
of our
think-
escapade?
I think 29 or
Almighty
something.
Dreadvine.
Maybe if, I don't know. It's
Mildly
a lot of
amusing.
missions, but they're shorter,
Though
so
there is
it's
little I
not
haven't
like
seen before.
if I say 20, it's not
Curious.
20 Desperado. Or if I
They
say
say
30,
that
it's
no
not
two
30
souls are
Desperado
the
style
same,
missions.
and
You
that
will
every
see it in this
cursed
mission.
power
Like
is
it's
unique.
shorter.
A gross
The missions,
The
whatever,
missions,
but I think the
yes.
game in total is
If you
longer.
Yeah.
live as long
probably.
as
Or
I have,
at least
you
just
begin
as
to see
long.
the connections.
Yeah.
Catalog
Um,
the different categories of soul.
Okay, I'll scroll a little bit through the questions.
Something that we can show now because we didn't really show the
And what
Dreadvine yet,
categories do they fall
and
into?
we've shown this location a lot, and it's speaking right now. Now, of course, there's
One
no
that
voice
should
acting in the
concern
game, so if you
itself
hear
with
it, you
finding
might
the
hear a
next
robotic
relic
voice that,
instead
of
of
course,
testing
is
my
not the
patience.
final game. Like we use these robo voices. Now, this is the Dreadvine. It's sort of at the center of the island. It's a giant plant soul thing that has been there for ages. It's very powerful. All the roots that you can see on the island stem from the Dreadvine. They're basically a part of it. It goes to the whole island. And it's a character that's talking to us on the island that's sentient, and we interact with it while we're here. And during the briefing and all that, the Dreadvine already hinted at us to where the treasure we're searching might be, but it had a connection to our old captain who was part of that treasure, and so it's not gonna tell us completely. But it's a character that whenever you're on that location, you will have interactions with, which is pretty cool.
Okay, do we have another question? I'm pretty sure we have. Yeah, from Knife Gaff. How do you control
Another
whether the
minute
cannon
for
pull
rest.
ability uses the rope or melee? Is it auto-based on
Where
the
the
player's
wind
hand?
blows cannonballs from.
I think it's like you saw the two animations. Probably one is where she puts the cannon over the character like this, like a thump, thing. This is when she does it with enemies, and like if you attack an enemy, she will do that. She also has an upgrade where she can. Like, right now she can only, this is when you do it with the player character, use the rope basically, and this has infinite range. But if you're, maybe there's another body lying around so you can do it again.
The crackles will
You hit them all.
Who was that?
Oh, nice, yeah. Now if you do it with an enemy, you need to get close to it basically. And,
Be gentle, Pierre.
no, it's not the skill, you just get closer with the context action, just to show that. Yeah, he can load the enemy now, and she does this thing, and she has the end. This is also, she can do this, and now she can shoot around the enemy. This is the distinction there, and if you upgrade her, there are upgrades for characters, more on that probably a later point. She can actually just walk up to enemies and like boom, and have a very, very powerful melee attack that is one of the best in the game, actually, if you upgrade her. Careful, you're going to attack that. Though a good thing is if you go back to the sea, like they cannot swim. They hate the water. Ooh, yeah. It's an opportunity, true. That's the knife thing. Like you do something and you fail, and you don't really fail, but this happens and you can maybe make something out of it. Right now it's a little hard because they are so close. But
Maiden's judgment awaits.
okay, they're like, this is like the only random thing in the game is what kind of positions they choose during investigation, and these two seem to like each other.
Okay, I'll pick another question from the chat. From Monzu, all the pirates are undead?
Yes. Well, it depends on
How you define
how you
undead?
define all the. No, like our pirates are all undead, but I mean there might be pirates in the world that are not. Well, I think.
Well, I mean, Sulady, is she like technically? But I don't want to like spoil anything. But yeah.
They're cursed.
They're
at
all
least.
cursed.
Yeah, they're all cursed. Yeah, nobody can swim. So now we have an interesting situation now because Lucas got himself into a situation where he swam over there with the only character he has in the mission that can swim, and the character died. And now he has this timer. Maybe you can pause it a little bit so you can see it. The timer in the bottom that's running down. If this timer reaches 0, as I said before, the character is dead. So he's trying to reach it now, and of course getting into some reckless behavior because he needs to be fast. He could of course just have unleashed a memory, but sometimes, like in the game, it's totally fine to make some action gameplay and try to get the revive. Oh, he got cancelled. Yeah, and now if he is dead as well, but it's worth a try.
Let's see for more questions.
Oh, the tides might be a changing, yet our memories stay clear.
It was the other symbol, that one that goes back. Yeah.
Measure, calculate, rectify.
I need this now.
There you are. I thought the below had swallowed you. Calcula, rectifica.
Okay, from Panic Grinder on Twitch. Do you think PC requirements will be similar to Desperados
I
3?
hope that memory
I
serves us
think
right.
yes.
No, they are higher.
There you are.
Yes.
Okay. At least then.
I'm
At least
pretty
Desperados 3.
Yeah, like I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure they are higher because the game just there's a lot more going on.
We have some first like preliminary requirements on the Steam page. So if you go on the Steam page and scroll down, it's like an estimate, a guess from our head of development. It might change, of course, until the final release, but maybe it gives you an idea of what to expect of the requirements.
A lot of the optimization they're doing right now is going, as far as I know, programmers are doing, is going into making it run on weaker PCs specifically, because the consoles, of course, they are better now than they used to be with the new generation and all that.
Then we have another question from Monzu on Twitch. Can you put that bodies on the cannon? I think we showed that a couple of seconds ago. So yes, you
A
can.
memory worth capturing.
How many of the crew, from Captain Neo, how many of the crew can swim?
I think I don't have, let me go
Just how I like it. Joy.
Oh, goodness gracious me, you're heavy.
I think 5 or 4 of them can swim.
Is that?
Not quite sure actually about one of them right now. So we're closing in on the objective, and now it's the classic gameplay that we know, like Lucas is analyzing the setup. This is a beach, and we saw it a little bit before. You leave footprints on the beach, so he can use that to his advantage if he wants to, or it might be to his disadvantage if he gets detected. But ooh, you got, there was the loud floor.
When in doubt, hey Marley.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah. That might work, yeah.
Oh, the tides might be a changing.
This is
yet
also
our
that's the cool thing
memories
about the
stay
time stop,
clear.
right? That you can just. Okay, guys, Caesar, but you can get away at least. Like you're not gonna get shot this time. Nice. And now, oh, you can you pause quickly? Now there's a new element on screen. There's the big bell at the top, and we can search for the guy. This is when we sounded the alarm before. There he is. We did not have one of these guys. You can see there's a floating thingy that he uses, but
alpha footage.
the
Remember
animation
alpha footage.
yes is not done yet.
Stop
But we
following.
have these bell guards. They basically, you can see them. They're running around with a huge bell on their back, which looks hilarious to me. I love it. And they when they are part of an alarm, they start doing something called the rite of alarm. And then once the timer basically goes down, he will hit the bell, and reinforcements will spawn, as we have just seen. So there are certain parts in the map, when these guys are close, you have to be careful about spawning reinforcements. But something that you can do, which we couldn't in this situation, because we didn't have the characters and stuff, you could, once you see that this is happening, kill the guy before he starts to hit the bell, and then the reinforcements will not spawn. So that is something where you can play a little bit with the alarm. Maybe you have a character, sniper character that might exist in the game, that is very good at taking out characters from far away and stuff like this.
I'll ask you another question from the chat if it's okay, or
Sure. Oh, one thing. You can see that, and this is also changed to Desperados, I just want to highlight it. The patrols are actually going back after the alarm is done. So they're not staying infinitely like in our other games.
which I enjoy a lot, because I feel like I'm not always like pushed into always reloading, but
Yeah.
I can like actually wait it out a little bit and then, you know.
Yeah, that's sort of the intent, and it doesn't get too easy, I think.
From Brandling on Twitch, since mission teams are not set in stone, What is your
Let's
philosophy
remember
towards
this
character
point in
balance? Is
time.
there an effort to deny players an ability to complete missions using a single character?
We don't do that a lot. So, in general, the approach is this is an approach we have to basically everything we do in game design, is that we never try to create rules that prevent you from doing things like as good as we can. Of course, you need that sometimes, right? But we try to make the characters and balance them. So you asked about the philosophy. The philosophy would be that we try to not have to do that. So we try to make the abilities, enemies, and everything that's in the game in a way that it's okay, whoever you take. And sometimes it might get a little easier. We saw before that Lucas used the ground crawler, Mr. Mercury, sorry, it's the development name, and hit inside that eavesdropping circle and eavesdropped very easily. And that's okay, right? That was because he made a smart character choice for the mission.
Hey, Dreadvine.
Now we have the footprint.
A
Oh, and
question,
it's the
if I
kindred.
may.
Oh, Jesus.
What is it, little
Ooh, but
pirate?
You're helping Mordecai protect his treasure.
it's
Why
a she.
would you do
They're
that?
sisters.
An interesting question. Not tell me why I should answer you.
Rectify.
I'm just wondering.
And she will actually revive.
Mordecai went to an
her.
awful lot of trouble to
Yeah.
hide this treasure, even from his
They
own
cannot
crew.
die in that case.
I think you know why.
By the way, I'm just reading
Do you
that
know the secret of his
apparently the
treasure?
game on stream is a little bit more
Clever,
saturated
little
than it
pirate.
actually would be. I don't know
But
why.
it will take more to
Probably
make
the
me
game
break my
actually
pact
hard
with
Uncover what
Mordecai.
lies
weird
hidden.
things.
I did make
Hmm.
that
You
pact
see, yeah,
because
it's a little
Mordecai
bit more
it's a little
saturated.
more
intrigued
I think
me on
it's
the
also
mission.
enhanced
Now
because
run
this
along
screen
and
is
fetch the
even
last
more
piece of
on
the
a
relic.
saturation
Yeah, okay.
setting, but so
Yeah, I mean, these kinds of things, they will always happen, right?
yeah. So just so you know, it's not like if you felt like, oh, this is very saturated, then it's not as saturated in the actual game. But I'm like looking for like some kind of settings how to desaturate it here. But
Don't
I'm
do
like,
that. That
yeah,
might
I'm
do-
scared. I'm
don't
gonna
do
break
that.
it. And
Yeah,
it's, you
it
know.
might make
But
things
for
worse.
next time, yeah.
We can rewatch the stream later and see if it was actually a problem or not. Alright. Yeah, so Lucas just managed to get the second objective. Now he's taking out these guys as well. And then there's a third one we need to do. And then we can get into exiting the location. Yeah, this one is rather easy. Yeah, this one was the hard one. We have to take out the whole beach. One on top is more chill. There's a couple of civilians there. Their behavior is not completely final in this build because they're missing some voice lines. But in general, civilians are on your side. Like, we have this pseudo-fascist government of the Inquisition that most people don't like, and so also the civilians usually are oppressed by the Inquisition. So they don't like them as well, and they will not rat you out. Like, they will, if they see you kill someone or do anything, they're on your side. Which is good because, I mean, if you played our old games, civilians can be a little annoying. If they are not on your side.
Just watching it on my phone.
Looks fine.
I mean, it looks still good. That's like we are still making a very good-looking game. So it's fine.
True.
My soul is
Okay. This is also, we were talking about the spawn points in the beginning. Lucas could have spawned on this side, you know, so then he would already have cleaned this setup out and had a very different experience, and you would have played the beach from the other side. So it just, the missions change depending on what characters you choose and how you spawn and stuff like that. So that's also a pretty cool thing. It has a lot of replay value because of that.
Question from Luca Roya, so not from our Luca. on the left. On YouTube, is there a way to know if you can
Another
cross
minute
from one hiding spot to another when enemy is looking away?
Not quite sure I 100% get the question, but what you always can do is you can turn on the view cone and you can see where they're looking, and then you can try and make a run for it. You can also, if they start detecting you, if you're not on the higher difficulties, there's also always a little time, you know, because the view cone starts filling with yellow, and you can use that time. We call that view cone surfing internally, and it's a big part of the game when you try to play it. And then we have abilities like Ephia's teleport or John Mercury's ability, where he can just basically teleport somewhere. So these characters, of course, are very good. We have Gael, who can shoot a character from one bush to the other bush without even having to walk, you know. So there's a lot of positioning abilities like that. Nice. Ah, nice. Big takedown in the end.
Aren't you sweet, little gun?
Oh yeah, that's true. We never talked about her
the
distraction.
firecrackers. Yeah.
So she has a firecracker that she can throw, and yes, nice. We already made the audio bigger because there was. And what it does is it makes people move there actually. So it's a strong ability. It's not only noise, as you might know from the stone from Shadow Teddy or
Maiden.
Coin in Desperados,
Oh,
or
my
Sir
senses.
Reginald
My
from
hands shall stay
this
calm
game.
in the
It
face
actually
of
makes them
evil.
move to that
Fool's
position, so
prank,
it's a
it would seem.
position-changing skill that she
Very
can throw,
well.
which is very powerful.
Little explosives are just as good.
Firecracker.
Remember, I can help.
Exactly, yeah. That's a very good
What's
move.
your name, little gun?
While you plan out the attack from Merald the Knife, can the mission be replayed?
Yes, after you've completed the whole game. So basically, Lucas is laughing because it was a topic that he talked about recently. No, it's once you've completed the whole game, you can replay any mission in the game. He heard that, yeah.
What do we have
But you
here?
can blind him. Oh, okay, he didn't see it. Yeah, that's a little weird spot because the wall was in the way. Because yeah, that's how it works.
Welcome to the other side.
Nice.
Another question from Captain Neo on YouTube. Can Toya climb on rooftops?
A memory capture.
Every character that can end up on a rooftop, yes. But there are no hook shots like in Shadow Tactics, for example. We don't have the.
Objective complete.
This moment. I remember it.
Okay, we've got the 3 objectives now.
sustained
Now you can
damage
maybe
while
go
on
back
the
to the
run from
overview map
another
because now you
pirate
need to
ship.
exit, and we
I
can
have
check the
granted
overview
you
map. You can see
shelter
the
as per
exits
our
are
agreement,
there.
only to
There's
be
one very
repurposed as
close.
material for repairs.
It's pretty, but
Well, you seem to have recovered all right.
I mean you're cool.
Yes, this piece of wood was the first
Yeah.
repair I ever received.
Do
So
you
there's,
remember
by the
more?
way, gonna be.
Some detail
we
maybe
talked
that
about
could lead
badges
us to the
before,
treasure?
and one of the type of badges we like to have badges that are easier
Perhaps
to
the
complete, right?
captain left it
Some are
here
harder,
simply
some are
because he
easier.
was fond
One
of
of them
it.
would be use every exit and use every entry
Regardless,
point in
this
the
is no
location.
doubt
So it
the relic
incentivizes
mentioned
you
in the
to maybe
riddle.
sometimes not always do
Carried
the
it
same
with you
thing,
to the
right? If you're
tier.
there again, you're gonna no, this time I'm gonna spawn over there, even though it might not be the perfect spawn, but I want to get that badge, and then you can do it as well. So
Let's capture
maybe
this
Lucas
moment.
already has all the
Yes,
exit
our plan
badges, and he
fails.
needs the one with the light towers. So now he's going to the light tower. Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah, it's there. The code. I think. No, it's cave.
Another question from Clarch on Twitch. How many
You are
enemy
leaving
types
then.
are there, and what are their abilities?
well.
Game looks great.
I
by the
shall
way.
return to pondering the soul and pestering my unwanted guests.
One.
I think
I
we
have a
haven't
follow-up
like
question.
really.
Almighty Dread
We've
Divine.
showed all of them.
We showed all of them already.
Yes.
And
But
there
we
are
haven't like
navigator.
we didn't like
When did
introduce them
Mordecai
in
entrust
detail.
this relic to
Haven't
you?
yet.
And
Well,
without
sometimes
really
during the
realizing-
earlier streams, I think we already talked about all of them. But I mean,
Yeah.
we can
You can,
scroll around the
It
island a
was the
little bit, and
last
then we
time he
can.
and I
Well,
spoke
we
in
don't
fact.
need to show the freezer prognosticar. Yeah, we have one in the next
Show
mission.
you the
I know
monks.
that. And there's also a sharpshooter in the next mission, so we can maybe talk about the monks. I mean, you could, like, I don't know, like the kindred. Yeah. So I don't know if we can cheat now because it's on games a little. We could try to cheat it now, but what's gonna happen is this: they're connected, as Lucas said previously, by this line. You can see. You cannot see the other one because she's indoor, but they're connected by a line, and they're mentally connected. It doesn't even have to be only 2 of them. Like there could be more of them connected in one setup. And if you harm one of them, knock them out, kill them, the other one will notice that, and they will go into sort of an animation, and they will realize that something has happened to their kindred, and they're gonna A, sound the alarm and make people go there, and then B, they're gonna revive them. So you basically can only kill them if you take them down all at once. So they're using the showdown mode is a very good tool to get rid of kindreds, but they force you to sort of. It doesn't help you to just pull one of them out of the setup and be like, okay, I'm gonna stab you now, because she's just gonna get revived instantly, infinitely. So you need to get the other one as well. Yeah, and then in the next mission we can see the other two guards.
We
I mean,
saw
and then
some
we have Commissarius and the Acolytes. These are the
Bell
basic
Fire,
guards that we have in every game. Exactly, this is basically the straw hat, the poncho, the character that does not get distracted, does not leave their post easily. Oh, we have these. Yeah, we have this guy. We're gonna meet him later again. The prognosticars. And then we have these guys. We're gonna see one of them in action now as well if we get to the exit. They're called Custodes. And they're basically a type of character we can, maybe if you can scroll up to the exit so we can see what he's doing exactly. You can see that they have this sort of, they're using holy energy to close down evil magic, basically. That's what they do. They live a very grim life of complete dedication to the service to the Holy Maiden. And basically they use all their mental energy and power to defeat heresy like this, and they burn out very quickly. So if we disturb them, you can see when you hover over them with a skill that we have a range. You can see this range. And once we hurt them in any way, we knock them out or we kill them, they basically, their main brain cannot possess all the power it has anymore, and it erupts. And it sends everybody around them into a sort of catatonic state, we call it, where they see visions of the grand design. This is a lot of story and lore stuff that you will see when you play the game yourselves. But it sort of is like an environment kill in the older games, so we will see what happens now, and then we can talk a little bit more about it. Yeah. Yeah, and it's always fun. Like, these are there sometimes during missions they're placed, but usually they're at the exit points. Like, this thing that he's containing with his power is a point that allows the Marley or pirate ship to create a door through the below that we mentioned before back onto her, so we can exit the mission. Now you can see there's a lot of stuff happening. This is where some polish was still off. But the door spawns, so now we can exit here, and you can see that the guards, they're sort of in this state. They're not dead, but they are having visions. They cannot see anything anymore. And you can do whatever you want with them now. And if another guard would see them, they would not sound the alarm, because they would think, oh wow, this guy's having visions. Good for him. Yeah, it's a fun thing. So these custodes, they're very grim and dark, but...
Lucas, 1 sec. Your microphone seems to be turned off. Maybe you sat down on it and turn it off. Well, then we either put another battery into the pack, or we can use the fourth one.
Nice.
So this is Olaf, our IT manager. He's always helping out with setting up the streams.
And a lot more.
And a lot more. Not only the streams. Basically everything here at Mimimi, so everything works.
Yeah.
Servers and what else?
I think, let's see. We should have chat decide, like, should we kill them or should we spare the guys that are in a catatonic state right now, having visions of the grand design?
I mean, they love it, right? Being in the catatonic.
They love it. The thing is, it burns them out, so if it happens too often to you, get hollow and you die. But, I mean...
Okay, we have one kill. Anyone?
Say no more.
Okay.
I was leaning there.
No mercy for the
guy.
fanatics.
No mercy, okay.
Awesome, no mercy. Dead.
Alright. And that's it. We can use the exit.
Yeah. Can enter the exit.
We have a lot more questions in the chat, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe we can use the time here in between missions.
Yeah.
Oh, badge.
This is...
nice.
There would be badges that we have unlocked right now, so this is that screen.
Alpha footage, guys. Alpha footage.
Yeah.
It's not finished.
The replay file is corrupted as well.
Oh, great, great. Yeah, nothing.
We would have the Desperados tab replay. No one.
Okay, so from Anmol Dembler on YouTube, how is the story told in this game? Because like you said, we can obtain and use new characters in any order we want.
Almost any order, yeah.
Yeah, almost any order. So the main part is that a lot of the story is told on the hub, where we are right now, on the Mali. So you will have dialogue there, you will talk to characters, and you will talk to the Mali, which, I mean, I think we can do right now. The dialogue is gonna be off, but you can just, we showed that in a social media post recently, I even remember that, so...
Should I try?
Yeah, you can talk. So this is how a lot of it is. Yeah, you can see it's a little buggy. Oh, we have... Yeah, because we cheated,
stories.
we have two main story things.
But be careful,
try.
I know we're gonna spoil anything now.
Yeah, we can click through the dialogue just so they see it once. So this is sort of but the dialogues look, you know.
Oh, it's actually fitting. No.
Oh, we've got the right one. Yeah, we got the relic of Broken Bramble. Though I don't know if the writing is up to date actually.
Yeah.
So and you heard
maybe I'll click
you're
through
hearing like robo voices.
Yeah,
so
Text
obviously
to speech.
we haven't like recorded all the voice lines yet.
So this is basically
Or-
how part of the story is done. And other parts is still going to be during the missions. And
For the dead.
you might not have heard it during the mission, but the Marley, the ship, can always talk with you. And also Afia, who's the navigator of the ship and the main character, she always talks during missions as well, even if she's not there. Now, how does that work? It works because with the setting with magic, like, she can see what's happening on the island. So she's always basically with them, even if she's not with the characters on the island. So we can do a lot of storytelling like that. And of course, there's going to be storytelling during the mission with the characters on the mission as well. Because sometimes you might have a mission that's centered around a certain character, or a mission set that's centered around them. Each of them has their own mission chain, basically. And yeah, they will talk then as well.
Okay, let's see what else we have in the chat.
That's a bug, yeah.
So how is the story? We were there. Angry Potato, could you share a bit why you eventually had decided on this cursed pirates theme for the game, and if there were other strong ideas for the new tactical game?
There were, but I don't think we're allowed to
I
talk
think we
much
shouldn't,
about
because
them.
No.
Yeah.
they might end up in another game. I don't
A,
know.
we might use them still, and B, it's like, this is what we're doing now, so there's no sense in looking at what could have been.
Yeah, full focus on this, and
But there were cool ideas. There
yeah,
was,
yeah.
we had lots of cool.
From Eric Green on YouTube, can you tie up the enemy and use them as bait for or to trick the enemy like you can in Desperados 3?
We actually changed that a bit. So this was one of the most OP strats in Desperados and Shadow Tactics that you could use to break the game a little bit. The thing is that there's some stupid technical stuff, or not stupid, but there's stuff going on with how the AI works that doesn't make it so easy. But we do, I don't know if it's in this build yet, but we recently made a fix to it so that you cannot abuse it as much anymore. They will still, like, you can still do it, but basically they behave, I think, almost similar to if it was a dead body. So they're not gonna go there, not sound the alarm, tie out the guy, and then at some point maybe sound the alarm. So they're gonna get there, see, okay, something's amiss, and sound the alarm. So it should not be as abusable anymore.
Can enemies from Luca, another question, can enemies spot you on top of houses and walls?
No.
Yeah, sure.
Well, if you stand up, yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It's the same as in the old games. If you're crouched, they cannot see you. If you're up there, if you're below, over a certain height, they cannot see you at all. And if you're in like 1 or 2 stories high, they can only see you if
Just
you're
like
standing.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's exactly. Skeleton.
Then another question from Angry Potato. Will there be any timed missions where you have limited time to finish it?
No.
Nochmal?
So there is no timed missions.
Sneaking around in the background.
I'm not completely sure about speedrun badges yet. We are still talking about maybe how we would implement them, or if we would implement them still, but there is no mission that requires you to do something in a certain time limit, because we want you to give you the time to experiment, to play in your own way. And if you want to play fast and be better, you can do that, but you can play slow as well.
Then, yeah, spot on houses. We got that. 3 characters max for each quest from Mondu. Most of them.
Most of the time. There are a couple of missions where you have more characters. There are a couple of missions where you have less. And the thing is that you can always take less if you want to.
And from Demon EQ on YouTube, will there be civilians on the enemy side?
No. As I said before, the civilians are usually friendly to you. I think there might be one who's not, but they're usually friendly to you and because they are sympathize with you and not with the Inquisition.
Why
Because
wa-
you're the resistance.
I mean, while we like chat, I'll go on our talk screen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good point. Because
Why
we
not?
need to. There's a bug.
Yeah, we wanted to like play another mission, and Mo has to prepare that mission.
Yeah, because there's a little bug in the build
yeah.
that we don't want to show. That it's not that bad actually, but it's just weird. And since we can just put our pretty faces on.
Yeah. Then from Julius on YouTube, do you just have one enemy faction or like multiple factions trying to interfere with you? Lucas?
There's one. I don't know if I should say.
I think Lucas is still not. I am not sure if.
Oh, can we? Okay, then.
I love that we bought new microphones and they're pretty good, but now we have. And now we can't hear Lucas.
See if I can.
every
kill him.
time,
No.
every time some audio issues.
So short answer is one. One enemy faction.
Yes.
One enemy faction. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Gonna spawn. Gonna spawn here.
Why can we, Olaf, just put like we don't have any batteries left for the pack? But we have like so many batteries, no?
But they went off during these 2 minutes.
Okay, crazy. So yeah, bear with us then.
There we go. Soll ich zocken jetzt? Okay.
From Opheme on Twitch, how many missions are there in the game? I mean, we mentioned before, like, we're not really sure how many.
I mean,
like, in
we are of
total,
course sure, but I don't want to say something that's wrong.
because it might change. and stuff,
No,
or-
because I'm gonna say a wrong number, and then people are gonna be angry at us because we
Well-
say it's 50 missions, but it's only 43.
it's a lot of missions.
It's a lot of. It's between 30 and 40. I think. I hope 20. My brain says 29, though I'm not 100% sure. It also always depends what you count as a mission. There are encounters that are not, for us, technically qualified as a mission. So there's a lot of stuff going on, but they are shorter usually.
Then from Sartana on YouTube, what is the big 3D style bell that pops up from time to time? That's the red Mali.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the save
Save
reminder. We
reminder,
had that
yeah.
in our old games as
Very-
well.
very
You
basically.
can turn that
Okay.
off.
Oh wait,
Well, they can
I'll-
see it, but
yeah.
you can switch.
I
back
can
to
switch to the
now,
gaming
yeah.
screen now. Okay.
And it's basically the reminder that tells you didn't quick save for a while. Maybe you should. And in this game, it's actually in game. It's actually the Marley ringing a bell and even talking to you. She's gonna say nice things to you. I remember we were always joking about this in the beginning when we were like, the best thing would be to have a developer whisper into your ear, quick save, quick save, quick save. And now we've actually been able to do that.
Pretty much,
My
yeah.
sword is razor sharp.
Though
Yeah.
it's a great voice actress and not one of his.
Unity game. Yeah, it's a Unity
Yes.
game.
Let me quickly give us an overview of the mission that we're in now. So we're again on Dreadwine's Cove, but this time we need to do something down here. If you remember the last mission, we were up here at the beach, so we are very far away from where we started. Now, there was one spawn here that we could have picked. That was the one that would have also been
I am
relevant for this
awaiting
mission.
your
But I
orders.
chose to go here at the cove. It's this spawn, it's down here. And we needed to cheat the first mission objective. This is the thing that was broken, and so I'm just going to walk you through what would have happened there. And because the mission now is going to be a little bit shorter than it usually is because we skipped the first sub-objective of the mission. So what we usually need to do is we need to take out 3 rectificators, though I think they're called Magistratus now, I'm not sure. These guys are the ones I cheat killed over here. They're lying dead on the floor. And we need to kill them, and then the red wine, the big plant that we showed you before, that is a sentient being, this one, tells you, like, this is what you need to do for it, and then it tells you, okay, now you can pick up the black pearl. This mission is one where we find a black pearl. So the second objective, the one we're going to play now, is the black pearl. But the Dreadvine can be a little bit of a not so nice guy, and so he put it up on that tower right here. Also, this is not completely final, I suppose. And now we need to get here, and this is the part we're going to play now.
Olaf probably. Is there a badge system from Monzu on Twitch? Is there a badge system
Let's
like in Shadow
capture this
Tactics? Yes, there's gonna be some sort of badge.
Yes.
system, or basically badges. Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot
A
more
little
badges.
bit-
They're a
little
little
bit
different, though.
Yeah, yeah. Ah, yeah.
Time freeze.
It was already also answered in the chat.
Don't let the
So,
flame get you.
Mitigame. Oh yeah, from Cricker. Are the developers in the game again? Is there
Mhm.
anything planned? I don't know.
They will be. We have
Yeah.
not chosen characters
No,
yet, though, because
no.
we haven't started that yet. Let's see if this works.
Will from
No,
Angry
it's-
Potato again? Will we see building interiors this time? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go into
Limited.
like
No,
basic-
not as much as
Yeah,
Desperados.
less than in Desperados. Actually, we have this scrolling over the whole map thing that we follow. This
This
building
one, yeah.
usually exists in different versions, where you can look inside if you get close.
Yeah.
But we do not have large interiors because it's like it wouldn't really fit the island theme as well. Like it's big outdoor environments.
Yeah, and it was actually one of the hardest things to do in Desperados 3. So everyone's happy with the with the change.
Alright, so
Are you online again?
I'm
by the
actually
way,
not
Lucas?
sure.
Is Olaf, is Lucas online again? Is he like? I think so. I think I saw like. Wait, we're gonna
Yeah.
be silent. Lucas speaks.
Check.
Maybe I don't.
Okay.
That's so funny. Like I have a huge pack of batteries, and it
Erste
seems
Ausmachen?
like because I have.
Erste
I don't
Ausmachen?
know. I don't know why. They're
So I'm gonna sit out the alarm. I'm gonna do something that you can do in the game, and you always could, is fast forward a little bit. Okay, now we're back to normal because I killed one of their brothers. Oh, I have. Oh, it's because I have this weird skill select.
I miss the waves under my feet.
I have another question for you, Mo, if it's okay.
Mhm.
From D-Maniq again on YouTube. Can the revival be done at any range, across walls and stuff like that,
No.
or walk up?
If you want to revive one of your dead characters, you need to be standing right next to
Mhm.
them. There might be characters that can help you with getting the dead bodies, but more on that in future installments.
Also, another question from Ishfaq on YouTube. He's asking if the screen animation of the Mali bell, will there be an option to toggle it on
Yeah.
and off?
Yes.
Absolutely.
As always, there's going to be an option to do that. This is something that I need to mention as well right now, because if you see the game while someone else is playing it and you're watching, you always see these, also the same with the save reminders in the old games. You see them and you're like, oh, they're so, like, it fills the whole screen. Blah. But if you actually play it, you don't realize it that way. Your focus is completely different, and you actually need something that's as strong as this to even realize that something is happening. But of course, you can turn them off if you don't need them.
Mo, is it okay for you to talk and play? Are you like okay with
If
it?
you guys say I suck, then
No,
we'll
I was
stop
just
at
like
any
feelings,
point. But
because if I would like talk and play all the
it
time,
works in the
and
easy
you're like
setups.
the
We'll
you
see
talk
if
most.
we get to the hard setup. Then maybe I need to pass.
At your service. Opportunity
Nice.
call.
I'm gonna spare that guy. Just chilling right there. Using the wrong animation.
So let's look
What
at
do we
other
have
questions
here?
from the community. Yeah, here. I'm excited for this. Well, from Angry Potato, very active today. A lot of questions, which is good. Will there be a new environmental will there be new environmental conditions other than day, night, water puddles, noise, and mud tracks? For example, cold, hail, thunders. I'm not sure. Like we have more than day and night.
Yeah. There are multiple different daytime.
Daylight.
Yeah.
But they don't matter gameplay.
Yeah.
No.
Gameplay-wise
There's just
always.
night and everything else.
Ready for a challenge.
I mean, we have the magic areas. They don't
les canons.
do
They
that.
don't do much.
They don't do anything mechanically, but they look awesome. Whenever this green stuff is around.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
So it
Anything
sort of has
else?
an impact because the guards might behave differently when they're in it. Not from the AI, but the stuff they do. They try to get rid of it, sometimes. So you might have a guy, it's not the case right here, that is doing something here to remove it. But it doesn't have like a systems impact on the game. There's still
So do we hear Lucas now? Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Alright.
Lucas is back.
Little explosive.
From Matti Tauru on YouTube. Any voice actors from previous titles? I don't know if we can say
I
or
like
disclose any
think so.
information around that right now, actually. But there's gonna be a lot of new voice actors. So that's what I kept up.
They're new and they're awesome, and I
Yes.
don't think that we have any big returning ones.
Another minute.
Like, I don't think we
Oh.
have any main characters
For the main
voicing
character,
main
yes.
characters. I don't know. Some voice actors, like, they're so versatile that you will hear the guy and you'll be, who's that? Oh, it's the same guy, because they can do multiple voices.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That might be
Time
happening.
is
So this is one of the new
Yeah.
enemy traps.
So let's explain the UDEX.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You go first. I
Yes,
mean, I
then
have
the
I have
questions.
1,000 questions, but
So you can see the cone of vision, and this is something that we changed. It's shorter in this game, right? These normal guards, they cannot see as far as they could in Desperados 3. But there's the UDEX. This lady right here with a crossbow, and you can see that she has a scope on top of the crossbow, which gives her a lot larger cone of vision. She can see, like, you can see that this guy, he can basically, where is he? He can basically see this far, and she can see until, well, oh god, I have to get the cursor without changing. Well, I can't really. She can see up until here. You can see the cone of vision is going this far. And she's the only one who has a natural crouching radius, because the viewcon is so long and she cannot detect you perfectly if you're crouching back there. So yeah, and they basically also never leave their posts because they're sort of sniper, sharpshooter archetypes.
Are you ready for more questions? Yeah.
Grant
The
me a
tower lies in sight.
Okay.
You think the
Well,
dread vine will remain honest?
Garunezu on
Yes.
Twitch. Is this
I
the
think
same
he was
engine
merely
as
testing
for
us.
we use as for
He
Desperado
always
3?
does.
It's a newer
newer
version.
version
Yeah.
of it,
And can
but
go
like
way
basically,
back.
yeah.
Yeah.
None of us are the people
still
who
remember
who are
the
really.
exact
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
we
like,
like-
same
yeah,
part.
It's a
But
random
yeah.
other
Times
number of
were
Unity.
different then.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's-
it's
that's
Unity,
doesn't
Unity,
matter.
it's Unity.
The pearl is ours.
I think updated version. Angry Potato, will the ship get upgrades renovations during the main story?
Not
Remember,
gameplay things. Like, if you revive a new character, their area will have decorations on the deck, and so it's gonna evolve a little bit like that with the more characters you revive. There might be some other stuff that progresses if you do things like the amount of skeletons there, though we cannot hope to do that. And yeah, but the ship is not gonna have like new gameplay features or something.
So visual upgrades, yes. And have we talked about the inside Mali, or should we? Or
No,
shouldn't we?
we don't.
No,
we
no,
don't
stop.
talk. We don't talk about the ship.
Okay.
We haven't shown anything, so like, let's keep it for another
Sure.
stream or day
Yeah.
or trailer, maybe whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's give a
Um,
quick insight into what I'm trying to do here, because this is a little more difficult setup than the ones I did before.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is sort of built around, you can see that there's a lot of like guards on top of these island things, and they can see a lot of it. So it's very hard to move, but something you can do is you can move down there and sneak through these bushes and try to reposition yourself. And this is sort of what this setup is built around. So I'm gonna try to,
let's get moving.
well, I need to get rid of the Udex, but she's seen by this guy, who's a Commissarius, which is hard to distract. So I basically need to start taking down the setup from this side. So I'm trying to get over there right now.
In the meantime, I'll answer a question from Montezuma. Will the game be on GeForce Now? So right now we're planning to release the game on Steam, Epic Game Store, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and we're gonna evaluate more platforms like GeForce Now and like Mac, I think, Linux and stuff like that. Also GOG. At a later time.
Oh man.
So we're still a small team, so we have to focus on like some things first, and then we'll see if we can like add the other ones as well. So don't lose hope yet, but yeah, at a later time we can tell you more about this. And
Never look back. It's
you
going
wanna
to
explain
get
more, or
loud.
can you take another question from the audience?
You can take questions. I'm just trying to figure out how to position myself, and now I'm gonna show something. Like I could sneak like around here further and try to use this ivy to get up there, but I want to try to use Ephia's abilities to show you that how, like, what types of things you can do. Just quickly check what this guy's seeing. Okay, he's not seeing this one. So, as we said before, I can
Crack in the glass.
blind that guy through the wall, right? So
Let's skip a beat.
I don't need to see him. Jesus Christ.
Hold it right there.
Blind him through the wall,
One shot.
and then I can try to close the gap quickly to get behind him, like this. Oh no, there's another guy seeing it. Well, that didn't work out. Ah, and you can see the bell guard right here. That's what we mentioned before.
Only,
There's
only
a little
on the button.
ritual.
Yeah, he's actually saying a prayer right now. We don't
Yeah.
have the voice lines for it yet,
So
but they're
good.
saying a prayer of... Which, this explains perfectly how the Inquisition works.
Yeah,
Like,
it's one of my favorite things.
you see a bad thing happening, and you don't instantly sound the alarm. No, you have to take down the bell, and you have to do a ritual, and you have to go through prayer.
And of course the reason for that is because well, we need this guy to have a little timer before the bell rings.
Yeah.
How should we? It kind of doesn't make sense because normally he would just shout and ring the bell. No. But these are the dumb Inquisition guys who need to say this prayer before they can hit the bell.
Must suck
so
to be
good.
them. Must
Yeah.
really suck.
Another question from the chat. Anmo on YouTube. Can we expect a Japanese dub later on? I always like Japanese dubs a lot in games. So for now, there's only English and German planned as for like dubbing, but there's gonna be text, subtitles, and yeah, the in-game text and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gonna be subbed in Japanese. I don't think there's any plans for
Or
Japanese dub actually
Yeah,
for
there's
now.
not.
Never say like never, but like I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's a
probably.
money thing. Like
Yeah.
these are very expensive to do voiceovers, so we need to pick our battles. Yeah, we would love to have voiceover in every language, of course.
I've got to clean this
From
place sometime.
Raphael or Raphael. I'm not really the best in reading usernames. Are we going to have any mechanics with pets, something like a bird, a monkey, or maybe a shapeshifter character that can transform to get attention? I think in the chat someone already answered at least parts of it, but like you have a fish, or a
Okay,
crow,
yeah, counts.
Mr. Miracle, that's a pet, one of our pets.
That's true.
But I don't know. You can weigh in on that question maybe as well.
I mean, there's a pet on the hub that is there.
Spoiler. But yeah, we haven't enclosed any details on that yet because I think it's also like work in progress a lot still, like the pet. No.
Yeah, I mean, there's not gonna be a pet like Kuma
Yeah,
in the game that you take with you on missions, but there is the monkey. I mean, we talked about showing him before. So there's a monkey called Estelle who's on the hub, who's actually a character. You can talk to her. She's part of the story. She's part of a couple of quests. She's pretty cool. I like her, but she's not finished yet visually, so she looks a little off.
And then shapeshifter character that can transform to get attention.
Maybe.
Look out for like
Let's capture
updates in the
this moment.
future very
Place our
soon
plan
maybe.
fails.
And you'll see.
I'll snap my
Now I'm
fingers.
trying to do my move here. I'm trying to take down
3.
Yeah, do a lot at once. I need to distract this guy, and then I need to take 3 of them down and kill that guy as well afterwards, because why not?
A crack in the glass.
So let's start the distraction again, profiting from the fact that
Hold
she
it
can
right
just do it
there.
through a wall and doesn't need to.
Time free.
What about the guy down there?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be complicated. He's gonna hear it, and then he's gonna come. I mean, I will have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes. I love it. Like, if you see these situations and you know the characters that are in the game, you always think like, if I just had that character right now, I could do it like this. But that's the beauty.
Yeah.
Okay. Do the
A
distract.
crack in the glass.
He heard you.
The good thing is, this is where.
Oh, this is perfect, maybe.
Yeah. Let's quickly pause. What comes into is a factor right here is that, as we said before, Mr. Mercury actually hides the body by putting them into below, which is a special ability that he has. So he's a little exposed there right now. Oh, she's still okay. Let's see if that goes. But
The fish might work.
That's a good idea. Let's do use the pet that we just talked about
Yeah.
and create a small distraction. So let's see what happened down here. Is this distraction already ended? But it's okay because he cannot see standing over here. So Athea is safe. Mercury is in a little bit of a pickle here, so I'm gonna use the fish, as Lucas suggested correctly, to distract the guy, and then we're gonna use Gael's ability to suck him into her cannon to get him out of danger, which is a good use of skills. So let's see. Reginald to the rescue.
The cannon is mightier than
Gael. Oh no. Okay, I guess I just have to kill him now. It's easier. He's just.
Well, it's perfect because he's
Yeah.
out of sight of the other two
That's
guys.
true, but I would have loved to use the cannon to just.
Yeah, that would have been a.
But she just took too long. Like, if
great
she's not
escape.
upgraded, it takes a while. She
Oh, I
kills, so.
see. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah.
Very cinematic.
But let's do it now to just pretend
Where the wind
this is
blows
what would have
and the
happened.
bullets fly.
loud and
That would have been
It
great.
would have been so good. Yeah.
We could have made another trailer out of that.
Yeah.
just a disclaimer in between questions and gameplay. So this is alpha footage of the game, just so you know. I
I'm
mean,
glad
we have a
your memories are
watermark
still working,
on the
Batman.
stream here, but
That's going to be a long shot.
it's not the finished game, obviously. There still might be bugs
What's in it
or
for me?
even visual bugs that you can see here in the gameplay. So don't be worried. All the polishing will still happen until the final release. Yeah, and I'll ask another question from the chat from Julius again. Will there be forced events like in Shadow Tactics with Lord Yabazu being killed in any way and still ring the alarm even though he would drown tied up? Hopefully not. I'm not sure if
What?
So, will there be forced events like in Shadow Tactics with Lord Yabazu being killed in any way and then still ring the alarm even though he would drown tied up? So probably he did that.
There might
and
be,
then
yeah, there
there's
might
still
have been a
like alarm.
behavior, yeah. Ah, well, I would like to say no, but I really don't know, because these sort of edge cases where you need to do something because weird stuff is happening, there might still be stuff like that. I hope not, because I think most of the stuff our enemies can do, like, it actually makes sense in the world now, and there's an explanation for it. But
Let's make it count, eh?
just for the moment.
Also, sorry if we're a little behind with the questions.
I don't
So
look up to
we're
anyone.
actually live, but it just takes a little bit of time to go through all the questions while also talking about the gameplay and everything else. But yeah, I'm trying to get all the questions in.
That's gonna slow me
From
down.
Abdus on YouTube, can you share more
missed the
info about the
waves
hero
of
characters, like a short bio or anything? I'm very intrigued to know more about them.
These three, yeah, sure.
Can we?
Just
I mean, when would we do
I
it
think
otherwise?
maybe we don't go too much into detail. What we can say, we have like Afia, she's like the navigator of the ship basically. We have Gael, she's like the master cannonist who
Ready
takes
for a
care of
challenge.
the ship and the cannons obviously.
Yeah.
Or doesn't really take care of the ship but more of the cannons and the weapons
Yeah.
and stuff. But
And
because
she's, like, we can talk about the nationality, where they come from. So
Yeah.
she's French. She has. It's a little hard to see her because of the perspective, but she has a hole in her belly because she got shot by a cannon at
you
some
can see it on
point.
the kiosk.
Yeah, you can see it on the key artwork. Ifia
Let's get
is
moving, eh?
actually from the Caribbean, so she's a local, and I think she's from Haiti. I'm not
Never look
100% sure
I think
right
it was
now because
Jamaica.
was it Jamaica? Because
I
it's
think
always
that was like
with
I'm
the
not sure.
I
countries
thought
didn't really
Bahamas, so
exist.
we have
No.
three different.
Yeah, the writers chose
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
and
I-
it's
I think the
large
voice
because-
actress has Jamaican
Oh.
roots,
Mhm.
so I think they will go with that. As
Okay.
well. I guess I don't want to like maybe not. So
yeah.
Mr. Mercury.
Then we
Um,
have Mr. Mercury. I mean, I think you can see that he's a Scot.
yeah, he's Scottish.
And here.
Another minute progress.
Sorry?
See and here.
See, and here, yeah, he has a Scottish accent. Don't talk him.
Yeah, but stay tuned for more. Like we're planning, of course, to introduce all the characters a little bit more in detail before release. So follow our social media sites, our website. We have like a news blog on our website, shadowgambit.com, where we post Death Diary blog posts like monthly so far, where we go a little bit behind the scenes of the game, and we also like do additional blog posts about maybe the characters, for example. So stay tuned there.
Let's
Stay tuned on
remember
YouTube
this
as well.
meeting
Maybe there's
time.
gonna be another trailer.
Who knows? Maybe.
Who
at
knows?
some
Who knows?
point. Yeah, so now we're gonna talk about this guy soon. He's Prognosticar, one of the last enemy types we didn't cover yet. And my goal, again, is to get up here to get the Pearl. And there's a Prognosticar on the way, which isn't so easy. But I could see that down here there might be a path, you know, so I could get over here, and I'm just gonna do something like there's a little large range, like I cannot jump this right now.
It's the
So
gun
I'm
that
just gonna
counts.
use Mercury's ability to go on the ground and skip past it. And this is the sort of stuff that makes the character so cool and unique, is that you can maybe reach certain points that you can only reach with if you have a character like that. Ifia, she could also teleport over that gap. But like it's not unsolvable if you don't have the characters. You just have to maybe go over the bridge or maybe find another way that leads there. So I can position him down here now. I hope he can climb ivies. Yes, he can. Okay.
And if you have two characters that couldn't get over there, but you have Gael, she could just shoot them over.
Very good point. Yeah. That's
Another minute gone.
So she makes up for other characters being less mobile.
yeah. Whenever you take her, you can basically reach any point in the game,
Mhm.
which is pretty cool.
How high can she shoot? Can she do like 6 meters?
Oh, a lot more.
A lot
think she
more?
can go up to 12 or something. Like she can shoot very high up.
But not on top of the tower,
Oh,
right?
she can. We talked about it actually just today. I think
I'll
if it's
keep you later,
glitchable,
Sans. Don't
if
worry.
you can. It's in range.
I don't think so.
Okay, she cannot
The
get.
the parabola
Yeah.
is just too low.
Okay,
'cause
so
that-
it's.
that would
I
be
think that's
hilarious.
9 meters, right? So I think she can shoot up to 6. Yeah, you were right.
Maybe that's 12 then.
Is it 12?
1, 2.
Careful.
Okay, so this doesn't work. We
Yeah.
cannot glitch it completely. Sad
Well now.
player. Just run away.
From El Nino on Twitch, do enemies camp the dead bodies? They don't?
No.
Just for a certain time?
For a while, and then they go back to their posts. Because that's the grand design.
Which is also a little bit different from, I think Mo mentioned from Desperado 3, where they would camp the bodies. Or stay, or the alerted guard would stay out longer or something?
Yeah, I mean the guys that you spawned,
yeah,
alarm, they
that
would stay
was
forever.
different, sorry.
But yeah, that's not the
I
case
was
anymore.
mistaken, yeah, that's...
Now again, the good thing is because they are following Gael down here, and they're finding... Oh my god. Was he actually coming for me? That would be ridiculous. We can see it with the new alarm thing, that's also cool. I can now actually see where they're going and why. So they detected this body, so now they are running around here.
Should have killed him.
Yeah, I should have taken... Oh yeah, now he's untying them.
Yeah.
By the way, Demon EQ was just clarified his question. I think he was asking before about like how you can, if you can revive, if the characters get revived from a distance, or if you have to walk up to them.
Only from...
And I think he meant probably the linked enemies. He said, like
Oh, those. No, that's from a distance. Like they just wherever they are, if you kill one of them, the other will revive.
Yeah.
Because if they would walk close, that's something we actually had in the beginning, that they would do something like that. You can just pull one of them out, kill them, the other one comes and you kill them too. And then it's like, oh, both.
Yeah, that's what I did in the beginning. Always like I kind of cheesed them like that. I was like, eh? No, it's better. Yeah. So I was like confused because I just played like the first 3-4 missions of the game again, and now that you changed it, I was like super confused about it.
I have to cheat. There's enough mesh bug right there. I cannot pass over that part.
Oh no.
So I gotta cheat myself up here. So usually I could walk down there, but the thing that always breaks is navigation, so I cannot pass. This is the sort of bug that we have a lot during development. So
But now this guy can finally get killed properly.
that's true. Now we can stab him like it should have been done. Oh, we can load him in the cannon. I love how the feet are just dangling out there.
Yeah.
Looks like high class human.
Another question from Clarch on YouTube, no, on Twitch. Can you still place those markers on the ground or on enemies to determine if they're looking or watching something?
There is the marker. You can also attach the enemy to the enemy. Whoops, like this.
From Jackie Stowe on Twitch. Is every mission doable with any character, or can you be stuck by missing a specific ability?
No, that can never happen. You can do any mission with any character. Sometimes it might be a little bit harder, sometimes it might be a little bit easier depending on who you choose, but I mean that's part of the having a choice, right? But it's always doable and not in a glitchy way. Like we're not going with, yeah, you can do it, but you have to be insane to do it. Like no, that's not how it works.
And then from Insignium on Twitch, hello, will there be a special edition or a steelbook version? I can't say anything about that yet.
It's the thought that counts.
So far we're just planning like a digital release, but it might change in the future, who knows. And a special edition in a way, maybe, if we will let you know soon enough.
So now let's get down to the prognostica quickly, because I'm gonna trigger him once so people can see what he does. So I brought Mr. Mercury in position here while they were alarmed. I'm just gonna get into the cone of vision of this guy now, or I'm gonna trigger him properly. Let's
Never look back. Hold it right there. I'll snap my fingers.
Okay, I'm just gonna. This is gonna fail, but I just wanna show what they do.
This memory is ours. Is that?
So
Let's skip a beat.
I'm distracted. You can see the exclamation mark above his head because I'm trying to distract him now. And if I do that, he's like these guys can basically see the near future. So if you try to harm them, if you try to do anything to them, and they realize you're there, if they hear you, anything they do, they will realize where you are, they will focus you, and they will freeze your character in this sort of state. And if this timer that's shown above Ifia runs down, she's dead. Like not dead, you can revive her still, but she's dead.
She's always dead. But
Yeah, make it even more.
There are 3 stages of deadness.
Yeah. She's taken down. Let's put it this way. Yeah. So what I have to do now is that I have to kill this guy while he's doing this animation. So anything that you could do to them, they will counter basically, unless they're already freezing someone. In that case, you can go there and kill them. So they always require 2 characters to be taken care of. And so they're a little bit of similar to the samurai or the long coats we had in our old games. but they work a lot better because you don't need to shoot your guns to take them down. You can use distractions and everything, so it becomes very like, how do you want to do it? Which skill do you want to use to take them down? So I just showed how it failed now. I'm gonna load now so we can do it properly.
From Paul Weasley on YouTube. Will this game come to PS4 console? No, actually, right now, no. There's no plans. I don't think there will be plans for that. But maybe in the future. I don't want to never say never. I would say never say never. But currently, it's planned for Steam, Epic Game Store, and PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series X and S consoles. I think Lucas even thought that it's gonna come for.
Yeah, I was actually not sure.
For like, I don't know how long. Until like just 2 months ago.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. But I can blame Xbox for the stupid console names. I can never get it right. Which one's the newest one? I don't know.
I don't know.
Xbox,
the new one.
X1, X series.
I'm always confused with that as well. Okay, so now what I'm doing here is I'm using Gale to shoot the guard that she has loaded into her cannon onto this guy, so he's gonna be knocked out for a little while. And I'm using Sir Reginald to bravely distract the Prognosticar, which will cause the Prognosticar to freeze Mr. Mercury in place, and then Aethia needs to do the rest.
Let's see what's out
And now you can see Mercury, even though he's underground, he's about to die, but...
Oh.
Just
okay,
about.
I just got him. Is Mercury dead? He's dead, but it's no problem because I can revive him.
Well, he's dead now.
No, no. Is he?
Well, when he's alive, he's dead.
Okay, he's not dead. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, it's getting complicated.
Oh, we don't have that.
Like moth to the fire.
Okay, this is something that will work
The
in the
water,
game.
yeah.
I could shoot them into the water.
We would not want to
I think from a shallower angle it
got another
would work.
ace in the hole.
Like at the beach.
From Nix XO, a question about: are you currently looking for, or are you currently expanding your team and are looking for developers? Are we still looking for a QA tester? I think.
Go to the website. There is
Okay.
a section there that tells you what we're looking for.
So go to mimimi.games, and there there's like, you scroll down a little bit, and there we have like a jobs
Look who's lying about.
page where you can look up all the open positions.
Some punch in 'em.
But you can also try to apply, do a speculative application.
What's the camera doing?
RS, right stick.
Demon asks, will you have estimate dates for releases? No, 2023.
There. The
Okay.
black pearl is ours.
Black Pearl.
I hope
So
this
now-
concludes our bargain.
Exit points.
No threads of time undone remain.
I've used this one like the
None
last
at all.
5 times I've
Dread
played this
vine.
location.
It was a
'Cause
pleasure doing business
I don't know
with you.
why. So I'm gonna
Habit,
use this
yeah.
one now. Yeah.
And do feel free to call on us again. We do enjoy your generosity.
Pirates.
So for everyone who just tuned in, we're playing the alpha version of the game.
I love it. Oh, God, just give me all the disclaimer. All the
Well, I have to put in the disclaimer. Like, I mean, there's maybe people who just like join and they're like,
Makes
they don't
sense.
see the alpha footage and they see like a bug and then gonna be like, oh, it's so buggy.
So
I
you
just
can
want to make sure I
silence
like
the
said it at
annoying
least
Magi
like
Stratus.
20 times, so
I
everyone
admit,
knows, you know.
This did prove a
So
slight
the alpha version
distraction.
of the game.
Yeah.
Now, if you
And disclaimer
excuse me,
The good
I
thing
have
about the
ancient
game is, well, because this is something you are not used to if you were playing our
questions
older
to
games.
ponder.
My goal now is just to exit right here. So there's this
What
whole
is it now?
camp, all these
Marley?
guards, and I don't have to
You
give
know
a
I
shit
do not
about
take
them.
kindly to
I can just run
interruptions.
past them, ignore them.
May I
I might
remind
have
you
to
that
return
you
there
owe
for a
us a
later
black
mission, of
pearl.
course. But right now, I'm
I
not
remember
obligated
agreeing
to
to
just
no such
take
debt.
everyone down. I mean, you could, you know,
Neither
you could
do I
kill everyone on the
feel
island,
inclined
but
to negotiate
I wouldn't
now.
recommend doing so
By
because
that
we'll
case,
get there again,
let
maybe.
me use my
But
power
it just
to undo
feels
our
very
actions.
freeing if you
Then
have
we
been
will
playing
lead
this
you to
game.
the
Very
magistrate's
liberating to just be
Yeah,
like,
it's great.
I don't
You
need to
are
take
no
these
fun.
guys down. I can just run
Marley.
past them.
Very well.
Which to an extent was possible
Have your
in
precious
previous
pearl
games,
if you
but
must.
just
True.
not to this extent.
Yeah.
I've delivered it to
Oh,
the watchtower.
That's interesting
At the
because I
shattered
really don't
cliffs.
know that as well.
I trust
If,
you.
from Julius, if the characters will have weight animations like in Desperados 3, so like they will sit down
Yeah.
after a while or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can
Because I've
like
never waited that
like
long.
idle animations.
I think there was... I don't remember.
As an idle animation, I guess.
I'm
Like,
glad your memories are too well.
I
Well,
don't
I-
even know
I
that
thought
we had
so.
that in Desperados. That like someone.
Yeah,
would
we
sit
did.
down.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing, like, we would have it usually. there was a discussion at some point if we take them out because we don't, like, there's too much stuff to do.
Yeah.
I don't think that actually happened,
we don't
but
know.
I'm not 100% sure, so we cannot promise it right now.
Well, now I'm not 100% sure, but previously I thought yes.
Maybe they're even in the game already. Like,
Yeah, let's
but
just wait.
let's just wait and see.
I trust you are
From
able to
Demon,
collect
another
it
question. I
yourselves.
keep wondering what's the deal with Fear being a navigator
pleasure,
and the boss
Almighty
main character.
Dreadvine.
Um,
Well, there's
what
a
happened to the captain?
there's a story explanation, but
There's some. Yeah, you will find out in the
Yeah,
game. Like,
Yeah.
or yeah.
What happened to the captain is a very good
Yeah.
question.
yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
Oh, I prefer below.
Where do I put this?
I'm just gonna position them now up here, do some
It's going
area
to be
stuff.
bumpy. Ah, that's going to be a long shot.
Abdus is asking, or he's hoping that there are some interesting and cool villain characters like Frank from Death Row 3. There will be, of course, interesting
I
villain
hope we
characters or a character.
Yeah,
But we haven't like so far really like revealed the main villain basically.
yeah.
I think in some articles, I think like at the press event we did for the announcement, we dropped it somewhere, and I think the GameStar wrote about it. But
I mean, at that point,
but
then it's public knowledge, right? So we can
basically yes.
say.
So
I don't know. You know what we dropped, so you. Have
but
to say.
I'll still like we're planning some like you know reveal or like a blog post and a video maybe even to like kind of go more in depth on the villain and the Inquisition and stuff. So you will get to know the villain there. Maybe I can tell her name, Ignatia. I think it's still Ignatia.
Yes.
So yeah,
And she's like the leader of the Inquisition faction here in the Lost
Yeah,
Caribbean.
she is
basically.
one of the leaders
Yeah.
within the Inquisition, but the Inquisition is a huge
And yeah,
entity.
and we haven't revealed the design of her yet, but she looks pretty cool.
It's grand.
So, sorry,
It's grand.
it's grand.
Doo-doo. Yeah, I just wanted to show something because, like, of course, there's a lot of environmental storytelling and stuff going on these locations, and we try to. So, we mentioned before that the Dreadvine is here, right? And the Inquisition, they do not like magic. They do hate magical, enhanced, plant, ancient soul beings like the Dreadvine. So, something they're trying to do here is basically study the Dreadvine, which is what they're doing here a lot. You can see there's a lot of study stuff. They have samples of the Dreadvine they carry around right here. And they try to do research on it to understand the mutant beast, whatever you want to call it, and purge it better. And then we have the Dreadvine that's trying to fight them constantly, basically, and has all these roots everywhere that get on their nerves. I think there's maybe some place where we can see that.
you can see the one part where they tried to strap it down with a rope down there.
This one. Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
good.
they're trying to...
It's so pointless.
Yeah. And they just try to do stuff against it. And what they also try to do is they try to burn it. Like, they try to burn the flora, basically on the whole island, and burn everything down. But the whole island is so infused with the Dreadvine's magical powers that the plants just grow back quickly. And you can see it here, like, they're growing inside of their camp, right? And you can imagine that they're just burning these things daily, and they just return the next night. They're just creeping in there again. So they're constantly fighting the environment on this island. This is basically what's happening.
At your
So, let me go through some more questions.
free.
By the way, just asking for a friend. Is there a drown all enemies as a badge?
Is that a
Thanks for the tip.
Thanks for the idea.
For the
Yeah, I
idea,
think
yeah.
it's not there yet, but it sounds pretty fun.
Yeah.
Only drown enemies during this mission. We should actually write that down. That sounds fun.
Abdu says, please reveal more about the rest of the hero characters soon. Teresa La Ciega and Toya of Iga look badass. I agree. And we will, of course, go into detail about the other characters
Very
as
soon.
well.
Someone
So
for
stay
me.
tuned.
Navigator.
Soon, but not
Soonish.
soon,
yeah.
but not today.
Soon, but not today.
By the way, just I don't know if it's clear.
Mhm.
The whole Dreadvine thing, that's just this island,
Yeah,
and there are many more.
there are many more islands, of course, yeah.
Full chartering.
And
But
they,
we have been only like showing this island so
Yeah,
far
yeah.
because we have to, you know, we have like a certain, like a dramatic
yeah,
plot
yeah, yeah.
for comms, how
course,
to
yeah.
Reveal everything. Like, there's a
Yeah.
plan.
But we
So,
try to give
okay.
each island like a whole different theme. So this one is the vine plant theme, but there's other islands that are just
Yeah.
completely different. So you can look forward to that.
Little explosives are just
Gotta
as
change my
good.
plan. For some reason I couldn't move up there, so maybe I'm
My
just
soul
showing a
is
bug
razor
again and
thin.
again now. But I hope that's not happening.
I hope some of the devs are watching and they
Demon is asking, you said you do not recommend killing everyone. Would that have impact on future missions if you did?
No. I'm gonna talk about that real quick if I...
Maiden.
Okay, so this spot is
Alright,
my
then.
for some
senses.
reason. So the island gets replenished again. The guards reappear and stuff like that. But there's actually a narrative reason for that. As we said before, the Inquisition is very dogmatic, and everything they do sort of follows certain rules. So you can see if they're patrolling around here, which... Okay, they aren't here right now, because it's a different mission. Sometimes guards get added during missions, of course, but we have these guys maybe patrolling, right? We have these guys standing there. And what they're doing there is not just standing guard normally, they're actually doing the right of patrol, which is a sort of thing they do, and it's very precise. You know, usually a prognosticar, went to the island at some point and found out the perfect way to do the right of patrol here by contacting the Grand Design, the Maiden, with his mental powers, and coming up with a plan. So he has told them that they need to specifically take this path up to the inch onto where they need to go and turn around. So it's a very precise thing they do. They're not like the cowboys in Desperados 3 who, of course, also had patrols, but it doesn't really fit their personality that well, right? Because they're slackers. They're just running around and being good-for-nothing guys and thugs. But these right here, they're actually trying to do it perfect. So if you kill this guy, if you kill any of them, the next time you get there, you can be damn sure that they will have replaced every single dead person on the island with a new person that is doing the exactly same thing, because Doctrine commands that this is how it should be done on the island, which I love.
yeah, it's great.
They're just so over the top. Okay, so how am I gonna...
It's all part of the grand design.
It is.
You're gonna hear the enemies say that a lot, and that's it's our explanation for a lot of gamey things, and I love it.
We designed this faction basically in a way that they could sustain all the weird stuff that is happening in stealth games with enemies. They can just...
Even you could say that the reason why the view cone is so short and narrow, because they're wearing these masks that doesn't, you know, they don't have great vision out of those masks.
Exactly.
Just
That's
like little eye holes.
Pushed a lot for, I think. Yeah. They have masks. So, like, there's a lot of this stuff where it just makes sense. It's just
from Tom West, I'll rephrase from German into English. Is there like a friendship system between the characters, or like also if they like you or like disdain you basically based on your actions or something like that?
Not in that way, but there is something similar-ish with the crew happiness. Yeah, there is something that's currently called the crew happiness. It's just basically something that gives you a little bit of a reward for not only using the same characters all the time. Which is something that I always do. I always have my 3 favorite characters. So there's a little bit of a reward for you for choosing different characters.
Yeah, but they do have relationships between each other, like during story missions or in other missions you will hear them talk to each other. And on the hub especially, there will be activities. There's activities for every character on the hub, and they sometimes require interaction with other characters. And so you get to know how they support each other and how they...
Yeah, totally.
The good thing is that even though the game has so many solutions to solve stuff, that even though it's bugged and I cannot move buddies right now, I can still complete it. So I'm gonna...
Back to the siege. Oh, nothing's changed here, I see.
Blind the guy that sees him with a fear. Wait until the commissary is out of range.
This memory is ours.
Okay, I'm trying to get this guy into the range of the custodes, so I can now take them down.
Now.
Oh, okay, shit, I'm a little out of range.
You can use a gun.
Oh, I can use a... Oh, that's the best way. Nice.
Bigger solution.
Perfect, yeah.
Okay. So, and then, as we saw before, the custode's basically going to lose control because he dies. He's going to explode, and they are all going to enter the catatonic state. There we go. The exit appears.
Écoute,
We can.
One
Oh,
last
you forgot to kill them, but
I forgot, but then I would have been stuck again in the worst
We
case.
spared them
Okay.
now.
Argue right now.
yeah,
We spared them for once.
that's fair.
Okay, also the
Oh.
okay, this mission just seems to be a little broken.
Well, let's just
But-
say we completed it perfectly.
Yes.
mission.
Bug free.
And
I
maybe
might use the. Did not press the hotkey there.
so we cheated a little bit, but it's okay. But yeah, there's a couple more questions. I mean, like 5-6 more questions. Maybe we can like wrap up the stream
Yeah, yeah.
while answering questions. I mean, I had some concepts planned and stuff like that, but I think it's gonna be
It's
too much.
up to you.
For the next stream. I mean,
Yeah.
we could show a couple of them, but we can also.
I think I would do it for the next stream.
Though it would be cool to have Lucas start
Okay,
working on
let's
something.
do it.
I mean, you can do it while. I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe we skip a couple
We'll
of
do it
questions. You guys
while-
can answer the questions later, but you want to see new stuff right now. So.
Okay, I'll jump into this, and I'll have to check. So what we want to show, like maybe a little bit from of the ritual.
Yeah,
island
the level,
itself.
yeah.
So we're gonna show you some behind the scenes things. Maybe like the dread wine or something like that. So
Yeah, sure,
basically
yeah.
the dread wine from the
So what's live?
that's yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you can explain a little bit about like the
Well,
so that's the ritual island and the dread wine we saw in the mission in the island on the
Mhm.
island.
So that's
Mm.
pretty much how it, like almost how it ended up, right? It's this
Mhm.
big skull with a sort of tree on its head, and all the vines are coming from this point. It's like the central part of the island. But there were many different designs that we evaluated for this, and I think there's a really old concept in there from when the whole island wasn't even vine themed. Maybe you can show
Maybe
that.
this one?
Oh yeah, that's no, that's yeah. Just show that. Show that one.
Okay.
So that was another possibility to not have a big skull, but like a big palm tree. I think we all quickly realized that skulls are just so cool
Yes.
that we kind of we just made everything into a big skull because it's cool and consistent.
Oh yeah, here. I
And
think.
then yeah, that's one of the really early ones.
Or this one. Should I-
Both, yeah,
Just show
both.
that one, yeah.
Yeah. So that's like a very
So this is
Early.
really, really early. This is before there was a vine themed. When I think the idea was just that the pirates go there to like perform a ritual.
Yeah, it's called
And
Ritual
that's,
Island.
that's
in
why it's called
development.
we still call it the Ritual Island, but that's
Yeah.
actually not the real name.
There is no ritual happening on that island anymore. I mean,
Um,
there sort of is in some
yeah,
mission, but it's a
yeah.
little twisted and turned around now.
Yeah, so these concepts happen really early when there's like like the very first blocking by the designers, and then hey, what should this island actually look like? What should it be? And we try to give every island its own identity, and this island became a vine themed identity, but we had to find that first. Yeah.
Also, I have here a little bit. I just.
You can show the one with the beautiful.
Oh, that's
paintings
even
on
earlier.
top.
Sorry, which one?
The one the bottom right, for example. You can show that.
This one?
Yeah, because it explains a little bit a process that we had to go
Yeah.
through.
That's fine.
So you can see here, like, This was an early version of the location that is blocking underneath, and then someone did an overpaint. You can see that it clearly was not an artist, was one of the designers. And what we tried to figure out there is what type of zones we have, because for us it was completely new to have these open islands where you can revisit and you can run around. And not everything should be the same difficulty, right? You want these points of interest, maybe, where you have people that are, enemy setups that are more tight, and then you have areas that are around them, the in-between areas we call them. So we start to figure out stuff like this, like where's the entry points, where are the exit points, how do you have a cool decision for entry and exit? And a lot of like paintings like this were made. I think I don't even know what the colors mean there, actually. I think the green one is where a spawn is.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the purple one is where an exit is, and the red ones is there's nothing there, but it's probably a harder enemy setup for a later point. Of course, it's not exactly how it turned out, but
Yeah, but still pretty close. I think
Yeah.
we had a couple
that one
changes.
looks pretty.
Show it.
What is this one?
Show it.
So
Oh,
should
this
I-
is so
should I-
good.
I think
Yeah.
Felix did that. It looks like Felix. Let's see.
Felix.
Oh,
we
so
show-
good.
We
The
show
level designer.
Felix. Wait, I have to always
we always never know in which state that actually happened. Like, was stuff clear before, or is it one of the first concepts where we're like, okay, a level
But
designer.
it's still pretty
We
accurate.
should use that
It
as the
is, yeah.
actual map.
This is the OV map, yeah. You can see like the tower part that we just played is on the bottom still.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
next to the cove where we spawned.
Where you spawned, yeah.
The spawn, the exit that we took, like exits are not really in there, but the exit you took is there, the light tower on
The
the top right,
lighthouse.
the cliffs, yeah. It's still
The
accurate.
orange
Nice.
thing.
I'll ask you another question from the chat so we don't forget to answer them, if that's okay.
Yeah,
or-
sure.
Yeah, can you burn enemies actually by throwing them into the fire tied up? Is it possible? Do you know?
If there is fire, where there is one mission where there's a huge fire, basically,
Oh.
though it's a little weird, and you
Yeah.
can throw enemies in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Dan, can you tell us a little bit more about other settings you had planned, other than the pirates theme? No,
Don't think
actually
we can.
shouldn't.
Don't
because-
Yeah.
think we can.
Maybe at some point.
Yeah.
no, but not right now.
Can we take more than from Abdus? Can we take more than 3 characters on a mission? It would be great. There's
As we said, a
yeah.
couple of missions have that,
Yeah.
but not all of them. Very few, actually.
In the the game is way in the replay screen the game is way lower actually. Yeah, that
Oh.
I said it. Alpha version of the game. It's not the final mix of the audio as well, so might happen that it gets louder or a little bit quieter. I mean, we can jump to the game.
No,
Uh,
I think like, do
I
more
mean that's
pictures.
perfect. If someone just joins the stream
And
it's
they're like, okay, this is
What is
professional
this?
game development.
Well, this is funny. That is actually how the game looks for a while.
Yeah, that's true. It does look like this. But maybe we can put a pretty picture on. Maybe you can
Yeah.
do, like put a concept art of a character or
Yeah.
something. We can talk more.
Then Tom West asked, in German wird es das Spiel auch in deutscher Ausgabe geben. Will the game be playable in German? Yes, it will be playable in German. It will be dubbed and subbed, so both, as well as in English, of course, dubbed. And then more languages with subtitles, which you can see either on the website, on our homepage, shadowgambit.com, or on Steam. We have listed all the languages there, which you can play the game in. From Dinesh on YouTube, will the release be all levels at all levels at once? I think was the question. Just the chat just
Yes.
went.
I mean,
Yeah,
there
or as
will
levels.
most likely be
yeah.
DLC and stuff like that, maybe down the line, but the game is releasing completely.
Yeah.
Like it's
We're
not
doing
an
a
early
finished
access.
game.
Yeah.
Okay, up to. Oh yeah, Le Saint. I'm not gonna read the whole name. Will the stunt and rope mechanics improved? Will be improved. Stunt and rope.
And ropes mechanic.
I don't know.
I don't know what you
actually.
mean.
Yeah, so let's say
Let's
maybe you
say
can
yes.
rephrase. You can rephrase the question real quick, maybe. From Julius on YouTube, will there be a mission where you have to interrogate an enemy? Like, tell me where the pearl is.
Funnily enough, there's one mission where you do something that sort of is like that, but not at all, and you will get there at some point, and then maybe you will be like, oh, that was he was talking about. But there's no interrogation per se. There's just a character that has means to maybe do stuff like that, and maybe does that in one mission.
Then, is there? That's maybe a question for you, more like also Lucas. Is there any story behind the Mimimi game's name and logo, or just the logo maybe?
Yeah, it
the
was
name and the logo. Yeah.
during studies when we actually studying game design together and working on project, and we needed a name for to call our small team, and then we were just crying a lot about how tools were kept crashing on us and things were hard and stuff like that, the way game development works. And we were just doing a lot of Mimimi, so we decided to call the company Mimimi, and then we started with Mimi, which was the mascot, and I think Lucas has a lot of PTSD triggering flashbacks to 100 versions of making Mimi to where she is right now.
There were many, and the first I think was made by Gem, and it was a 3D model of the girl, and well, good effort for back then. But if you look at it now, it
doesn't hold up.
Okay. let's go through another question or more questions.
Change the picture. Put something. We're not gonna say anything
Yeah.
about it. They just have to accept whatever we put on screen, and we're gonna answer questions.
So what, randomly, I should put
Just
in a
pick
picture?
one. I hope there's no complete junk in there, but
No, it's like I did a little pre-selection,
Yeah, then
but
just
like
pick
it might be
anything.
something
throw it
random.
in there, and then they can.
A slideshow.
Oh, that's a little bit too.
Okay. Yeah, that's the Mali.
I mean,
Lucas, maybe you can
Yeah.
tell us a little bit
Yeah,
about the
sure,
concept
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
something, or the process.
Maybe pick the picture before that,
The picture before the.
or one or two. Yeah, that one.
This one.
It's just the yeah. So,
Yeah.
where do I start? Well, we wanted to have a big ship that's like the hub of the crew, and that's actually the second concept, but I don't think you have the first one. And then, well, how should it look? We are undead pirates. We like bones and skulls and stuff, and the ship is magical. So I just threw some ideas in there, like stuff is kind of floating in midair. There are souls flying around. It's just this like kind of broken but still very likable place that you like to be on. There are like plants growing on deck, which is just makes no sense whatsoever, but it's kind of nice. And yeah, that's how it
Nice.
started.
Yeah, and I mean, there's something that we can see a little bit, not here, but you made concepts, I remember, where something that we wanted to figure out was where's each character staying on the hub, right?
Yeah,
So we
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
areas for each character. And I remember you did concepts basically of this and overpaints where like, okay, this is the area where
True.
this character is gonna stay, and you
Yeah,
painted
yeah.
in what's gonna be there. So there's a lot of work going into
Yeah,
hub
there's
like
a lot
this.
of back and forth.
And another thing that
Yep.
maybe is fun to mention is you can see that luckily because we have a old ghost ship, there's these indoor parts of the ship that you can see in the front and the back of the ship, but there's no roof over them because we could actually make the ship broken and remove these because as you might know in a top-down perspective, roofs are sort of in the way of things. So that was also a lot of
Yeah,
process on how
that was a
to
big plus. Yeah.
make that happen because it's weird in some way, but it worked out.
Yeah.
well.
And then I like that request from Dinesh on YouTube. My only request is please don't make the girl in the intro of Mimimi games cry like in Shadow Tactics. And I think so in Desperados she doesn't cry anymore. I think
Oh,
in
she
Arco
did. We had to patch it out.
yeah,
I
and,
think.
but we patched it now in every game. I
Yeah.
think also in the Shadow Tactics.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that she doesn't cry anymore. But yeah, stay tuned for the new
Yeah.
Mimimi logo version because
Soon.
it's cool. It's very cool.
It's very cool.
It's not as annoying for sure,
Yeah.
but it's cool. Yeah. Where are we? Here. Is Toya of Iga, does he have any connections to characters of Shadow Tactics? That would be awesome.
We're not allowed
Don't
to
know.
say.
Don't know. I actually don't know.
No, I don't
I'll
know.
be
I forgot.
I'll be surprised as well. When will be the release date? Hi Kai. 2023. We don't have a specific date yet. At some point in the future, we can tell you more.
Is the Mali moving around?
Yeah, is the from Julius, is the Mali moving around while in the hub? So are we gonna see waves, thunder, and storm?
So I mean, there are waves crash. Like she is actually moving. There are no sails that are up because she's a magical ship. She doesn't need sails to sail. And also they would obscure everything on the screen, so that's why there are no sails. Again, magic helping us out. So she is moving. When you see in the game, you can see the water moving beside her, but she's not moving
Showing
anywhere.
here.
Like it's an infinite kind of moving that she does. Yeah, we can.
Oh yeah, right. They can't see this. Yeah.
So you can see here, like she's moving. She's driving in the water. Of course, this is stuff that there might be tweaks happening in the
Right.
later versions to make it seem like there's a lot more wind. You can see the wind is doing weird things right now. But
I'm not sure if that's
Maybe
Yeah.
to go into the technicalities a little bit, if that was the question. It's not really moving. It's just the water moving, and the camera is kind of it's hard to move this in the game because we have to follow it with the camera always. But we tried to sell the movement as much as we could with the waves and the every kind of magic trails going backwards.
yeah, so you can see. So it's
Yeah,
in
like
the
that.
story, basically, she's moving, but
Yeah.
you never see her drive anyway.
And of course, technically, if you're going to a mission, you're technically going there by ship,
Yeah.
but we don't really see that. I'll say.
I was able to read hiragana, but I already forgot. It's like Hajima. Maybe you can.
I can't see it from here, but you were close, I think.
That's a ha.
No,
But there's like this
it might be a
point.
ba.
Then it's a ba. Well, I tried to pronounce the name.
Yeah.
But he says, I'm looking forward to it. Shadow Tactics was fun from a Japanese fan. Nice.
All right, great.
Oh,
Great to
thanks
have
to
you.
Japan
Great to
from
have you
Munich.
on board.
Yeah. Give Volkan, give city key, please.
Okay.
Okay. Julius, but is there going to be rain visible on the map?
On the Mali?
I don't
Not currently.
I think we have a rain mood there now. It's a rather limited what you can do on a hub. Like there is maybe going to be different moves, but it's not really clarified yet because
Yeah.
it's just very hard to do technically.
get you
There's a
somewhere.
lot of weird things going on.
Now I really want rain, but
By the way,
Yeah.
Mo is just doing now very random stuff on the hub. Like
I'm just
killing
playing
the,
around
the
with the
skellies
skeletons,
and
showing
stuff.
them that nothing you do to them actually hurts them. He's gonna untie himself in a second, I think.
Well, let's
Oh,
answer,
right.
maybe like wrap it up.
Mhm.
slowly,
Okay, sure.
Sure.
Answer the last two questions here. Rain, we answered that. From Demon, a question again. Will the characters be able to swim like in Shadow Desperados 3? Yes, they will be able to swim, like
Well,
most of them, or half
it
of them
depends
or
on the
something.
character.
Depending on the character, yeah. Volkan, who just wanted the CD
Any
key,
cannons
please.
loose.
He says, guys, looking great game.
I wasn't so
Thank
I
you.
wish you good luck
Was
on
it?
the release. Thank you very much.
Oh,
So yeah, that was okay. That was our first kind of like live gameplay stream. Once again, alpha footage does not represent final gameplay.
Every time you say that, it makes me more nervous because because it means the final game has to look really, really perfect.
I mean, it already looks awesome. Like,
Yeah.
Except for that Yukon background.
Oh.
and I have to figure out for the next stream why the game capture card is like saturating the picture. I don't know why. It's a little bit more saturated than it actually is.
Really?
So just FYI, yeah, it is. It's super weird.
Maybe
Because
it's
we had
just
it-
the screen.
Because
though.
of course, like right before the stream, the capture card didn't work
Oh.
as expected, so we had to reset it somehow, and then it worked. But probably
My
when you,
sword
like
is
after the
razor
reset, there was like something funky about it. So yeah. Okay, last minute questions here. Do you guys from
Aren't you
Chris and YouTube, do you guys prefer playing your games using keyboard and mouse or controller? It
I-
depends on the person. But you
It
personally?
depends. I really like the controller.
Yeah.
Just yeah, it's just a personal thing. The mouse and keyboard is the same old as with the previous games, and it works great. And I think it's what most people use, honestly.
Sorry, what?
It's what most people use, mouse and keyboard.
I think so too.
There are a lot of gamepad players,
Yeah.
though. You see them from time to time. I personally, it depends on what I want to do. If I want to quickly test something, I usually go for the mouse keyboard
Yeah.
because teleporting and stuff like that works easier. But if I play for myself, I actually prefer the gamepad as well by now. Even though I'm a PC guy, usually I'm not that I don't play as much console as I play PC. But it's just so chill to run around with the characters and the
Yeah.
camera follows them, and I just like that.
Yeah, it's great.
You don't have to play anymore.
I am.
But you can
okay.
play if you want.
I'm glued to the screen doing random stuff to skeletons, shooting them in the water.
So last questions, guys. We're gonna wrap it up now soon. In the next minutes. But yeah. So there was another question further up here from Neo. Do we ever get to learn how each crew member died?
Well,
There's like character missions. That's
For some
what
of
we-
them, there is but
yeah.
like initially, I just have to tell that story now because
Yeah.
when we started making the game, and one of the ideas we had, which is still pretty cool, but it just didn't make it through
Mhm.
through everything, was that a lot of basically everything about them has to do with how they died. You know, that was an idea initially where we were like, the way, for example, I mean, this is still visible in Gale, right? She has a big hole in her body because she was shot by a cannon, and she carries around a big cannon. So there are these connections still, but they are not as heavily put into the lore anymore because it just didn't work for some characters.
Yeah.
And,
Like for Toya, maybe he was killed by a ninja and now he's a ninja.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense, but
Yeah. So this sort of, it is there sometimes, but the game is not as much about as
Yeah.
it at some point was planned about how they died. It's more about what they have to do, about things that they might. Well, yeah. I don't want to spoil the character missions, but they're pretty cool.
But the game will go in depth about each character's sort of background and personality, and maybe even tell you how they died.
Maybe, yeah. For some
Yeah.
of them, that might actually be.
Yeah.
I mean, for some of them that does happen. Looking at you, Mr. Mercury.
Volkan, guys, give me a name to an NPC. Maybe I followed that pirate. There's gonna be developers you can kill again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can apply and
You can apply it to be an NPC. Maybe we do
That would
in
be
the
a good
future.
No, you
Next
raffle,
game.
right?
you can apply to work here and then you'll be an
Oh yeah,
NPC.
true. Or
Yeah, true. Yeah, apply to work and you
Yeah.
get your name in the game.
do something like comment on Instagram, connect 5 of your friends below, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you get a slot. in
Oh,
the
we
game.
should do that.
Your 5 other friends have to buy the game, and then you like.
Yeah, not just have to like the post.
Yeah.
It's like they have to buy the game. You send the receipt. And pyramid scheme activated.
Okay, last questions now. So Abdus is asking, is there a mission with 9 characters? So it's 8 characters, by the way. But is there like a mission probably with more than just 3 characters? That's his question, basically.
Maybe as well. There is with more, maybe 8. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's something you will have to see when the game comes out.
The art blob. Hope you guys are able to take breaks in between and take some moments to breathe. Developing is tough as nuts. But I
Yeah.
think we're trying to really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you don't really take breaks, but you're like it's also not
Well, we're not like crunching 24/7.
exactly. We're not doing crunch time and doing overtime all the
I
time.
think
But I
that's
mean
what
you
he
don't
meant.
take a break in the work. Like it's not like you. Okay, we're at a good spot. Let's do something else for a month. And
No, not like that. But
Yeah.
I think like people take holidays off.
Yeah,
or
of
but
course.
days off. You know, we have
It's-
weekends
it's a-
off, of course. No one's
yeah.
working on a weekend.
Mhm.
It's a rather normal work
yeah.
environment, I would say.
Thanks for the concern.
Yeah. Okay. I love the game. I'm really looking forward to this one. Game looks great, guys. Thank you very
Just stop
much.
playing. It's gluing me to it.
Volkan, I will buy the game in 5 more copies. I'm from Turkey. Cannot apply for a job there. Yeah. Of course, we would be honored if you buy 5 copies, but you don't have to. It's enough if you buy 1 copy for yourself. That's already very, very nice and very supportive. And wishlist the game, maybe. That's my last comms message for today, aside from alpha footage disclaimer. Wishlist the game on Steam if you can. It always helps us a lot. So you see the link in the chat. If you can go over there and just press the wishlist button there, and maybe even the follow button. This all helps us to gain more visibility.
Then
on
tell 5 of
Steam.
your friends to wish
And
list
tell
the
5
game.
of
And then if
friends.
they wish it and they bought it, then maybe we put
Yeah,
you in
and
the
you
game.
send us the receipts, then maybe we can put you into the game as NPC.
Don't say now it's kind of
No,
everybody's
no.
gonna be like,
Okay,
here there
I was
is,
just,
let
I was
me in."
just, I was just kidding. Don't do it.
No, if we do anything like that, it would be
we-
sort of an organized
that
event.
would be an
yeah.
official update on our social channels and so
Yes.
on.
Yeah, don't do that, but wishlisting is great.
Yeah, it really helps.
So yeah, thank you very much everyone for joining in for the stream. We're gonna have more streams in the future until the release next month, I guess. So stay tuned. There's more news coming, more updates, more trailers. We're gonna also introduce the characters at some point, of course. So yeah, stay tuned. I mean, you can follow us everywhere on almost every social platform you want. You can join our Discord as well, where you can chat with us directly, with the team, with other community members. You can join on Steam. You can subscribe to the newsletter. Yeah. So thank you for watching and goodbye. See you next time.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.